What?
Well, that's what we do.
Oh. Sorry.
That's what we do. We go on the line.
Huh.
We are should be now on the line.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead and call her.
maybe.
Take that step. And then if she says no, don't keep calling her. That's,
Lose her number.
yeah.
Billy.
Don't listen to your grandfather who said he stalked your grandmother for 3 years before she finally went out with him.
Yeah, no.
That's like, come on. People don't do that anymore.
I came back from the war, and I marched up to a house and punched your dad in the face. Some said, I'm taking your daughter out. He said, all right, I respect a man to come up to my door and punch me in the face and say he's taking my daughter out. So we went out. I took her out. We had a milkshake. She complained the entire time, but I came back the next night, and I did it again. My God, and I did it for 3 years.
Yep. Times have changed.
Eventually, I said, you're going to marry me.
People don't drink milkshakes anymore.
I like how your old man is vaguely Canadian.
What? Hey, guy.
Yeah, buddy.
That was a sweet Wonder Woman poster whoever tweeted earlier.
That was me.
Yeah, I've never seen that one.
It's pretty good.
The coloration on it is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The colorway on that poster is really good.
Sure.
Yeah, the glaze way.
I don't know. I
We're
just
online,
like.
aren't we?
I just like how the colors pop on it. Is all.
Yeah, it's a good poster. I think that was the teaser.
We
poster.
are online. Switch to night mode in YouTube gaming.
Yeah.
Right.
Do it, Angry Arnold.
I will. Yeah.
So much ice. Hi, Evan.
So much drama in the LBZ.
Gonna be a tweet
I'm
there,
still
so-
mad that we don't have tea with ice.
Tea.
Like,
You didn't have to tell everybody it wasn't tea.
Yeah, I'm drinking. Nobody can see what I'm drinking. It's tea.
This is absolutely tea.
we just should plan these things better. Is all I'm saying.
Maybe you should plan these things better.
Oh,
I have
yeah?
shit.
I have tea right here. Look at it.
Look at it.
Nah, that ain't tea.
That's tea.
Nah.
Yo, man, that's tea.
That ain't tea.
It has the same consistency.
Tea.
I mean, you do have the math cubes in there.
That's right.
What's wrong?
What's wrong with you? Time to talk Trespass.
For some reason,
Ice Cube impressions.
I have always in my mind confused this movie with Judgment Night.
Oh, Judgment Night's so good. If that movie wasn't so long, we would have watched it by now.
I'm just saying, like, it's. I know they're nothing like each other.
They kind of are.
Oh, I can't believe you added iced tea.
I've done it before.
Oh,
He's gonna
shit.
fucking kill us.
No,
He's
liked,
gonna click
He
this.
liked the last time we did it. He liked it.
He didn't listen to the episode though.
We don't know. He didn't say he listened, but he may have.
We're still alive. He didn't listen to the
I don't-
episode.
Look,
all right.
my life is not the one I'm worried about.
There are two.
By doing this, I'm not worried about my life. My life is expendable. Ice-T, however, is a treasure.
Is in peril now.
Yeah.
He's fine.
imperiled him by.
He's fine.
You have imperiled him.
Oh shit, that's right. Oh my god.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
What have you done, Chuck?
Yeah, seriously.
God
I mean,
damn it.
do you not realize the power of our Twitter account?
You don't pay attention to the curse, do you? No.
Yeah.
And that's why you're going to get cursed.
Wait.
You realize
Okay.
we since Paul Walker died, we have tweeted like 100 celebrities, and none of them have died. None. Zero.
Some of
How
them
do you
have.
know for sure?
Because they're not dead.
How do you know for sure?
Fuck off.
2 words. Paul McCartney.
Oh, is he dead?
That's the story.
Today's his birthday.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Paul. Keep up with the being a billionaire thing.
Yeah.
It's working out well
That's
for
what-
you.
Good job.
Oh, I thought you wanted like a rough handy.
Yeah, that was man. That was a big. Ooh, that was tear. That was the tear zone right there. You went a little.
You want an Indian burn
Yeah,
on your
the twist went a little too far. That was the.
You want to get a, like a bicycle handle? You, you got to get that. You get it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want the angry piston.
Nah. Nah.
An apple pump.
This ain't a washcloth you're wringing out, motherfucker. That my
That
penis.
is the roughest of handy.
Yo. Ain't you ever done this before?
Oh, Sabrina, you came in at the worst possible time.
Oh, we're so sorry.
I'm not.
We're so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
regret nothing.
Yeah.
That's why Amazon recommended pliers earlier. Now, how does the flour come into effect?
I already
that's
told
right.
you.
No. I reject that. No.
That's how I enjoy my Transformers movie, covered in flour.
That's weird.
I make biscuits.
And it's going to mess up
I
the
roll
laser
around
in
in
your
the bed,
player, man.
watch Michael Bay movies, and make biscuits.
Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to get us banned in the UK if you keep doing that.
Why the UK?
Because he's doing it like a butterfly
It was
knife.
sort of butterfly
oh,
knife-ish.
Shit.
Now this footage has to be excised from the UK stream.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What have you done?
We have exercised the butterfly knife.
God
So-
save the queen.
Is your stand rigid now?
Yes, now that I've
is it-
You
now
have
that
the
I've
proper amount
cranked
of
it.
firmness.
Yeah.
Is it a turgid
Yeah.
stand?
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Hand me them pliers, or did you already shut it all
Oh,
off?
man,
Oh,
now.
no.
Oh,
Did you? If you fastened it,
we go Bob
all right.
Vila the fuck out of this.
I like how we already started late and we're like, let's find ways to extend this.
Nah, we got 4 minutes, man.
why am I talking? I'm talking literally to the microphone. That does nothing.
Hey guys, welcome to
How do podcasts work?
don't know.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
My shit's been messed up for weeks.
Would you like a secondary
Goddamn right.
grasping?
Yes, sure, fine.
All right.
Yes.
Secondary grasping. Let him come and show you the twist maneuver.
I hope my crotch is making a cameo.
Oh, good. Stand by for Harlow's crotch, everybody.
I don't know what else to do with it. The cord is too short to put it anywhere else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You
Put it on your dick.
You gotta cut the cord.
Just let your microphones kiss.
This is why all our female fans go away. We get one and it's like, hey, dick jokes.
Listen to my dick. I think that's more sturdy, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and
Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's get ready to podcast.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for
Hey.
supplying some
Torque.
torque
You're welcome.
with IQ. I mean, that's the wrong guy.
Trespass.
I'm
the
sorry.
movie.
I get an iced tea and I can't get out.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why it's called. That's why his Twitter handle's the final level. Like you cannot escape
Eat
it.
the ball.
Once you get into the final level,
Yeah.
it's no getting out.
Kids keep doing Ice-T impersonations. They can't stop. They call it the Death Wish 5. Boom.
Boom. That's the trespass.
Man, I wish that this cup did not have Transformers bullshit on it. It'd make me much happier. Sorry.
You can pour it in another cup.
So
It's almost gone now.
it said
Chuck.
something about getting exclusive stickers to win, or sticker codes. Or
Uh huh.
something.
You got to scan a thing to.
But
the
there's
thing.
no sticker on there.
Oh, it's probably only if you get the.
It's probably fake stickers.
The fluffy
You go to
sticker.
sonicdrivein.com/Transformers
Yeah.
movie.
and then you get digital stickers.
I like that they made it generic so they could just reuse the same URL for the next 19
The
Transformers
fuck I
movies.
gonna do with a digital sticker?
Stick it on your digitals. You got like bits. You can put them on.
I got a computer. My mom put some stickers on it.
I kept moving around the screen, but they got all sticky.
Hey kid, I'm a sticker.
Stop all the contest entering.
One day there are going to be people that don't know that reference anymore, and it makes me sad.
Nah.
Yeah.
It makes me very sad.
When that reference dies, we all die.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like The Ring.
7 days.
All right, over there.
Yeah, just trying to get my diesel started.
Got a piece of sausage lodged in your large aorta. It's really hard to say.
Do we need to push it down a hill and then get in?
Yes. Get in.
Yeah.
See, your Transformers Cup has brought another Transformer into the chat.
What? Oh, shit.
Oh no!
He, Grimlock, he liked Transformer Cup.
Yeah. Do we need to?
Nah.
I don't know.
What?
Nah.
Okay.
We're good.
Just saying.
We're going to Trespass.
Don't nobody be trespassing.
Yeah.
Treth. Path.
Treth FX pack.
A.K.A. the Ludith.
Ludus?
The Ludith.
No. Sure. Mostly sure.
Mostly. Mostly.
Sanic is slinging Transformers food merchandise.
They
In
sure
fact,
are.
Transformers flavored slushes.
I had a Transformers flavored slush tonight. It was delicious.
Did it taste metallic?
Yeah.
No.
I've done some research, Chuck. Good.
Yeah, we're good here.
Good here.
Yes.
We're all
fine.
good here.
We're all
Yep.
fine here. How are you?
Yes. It's a boring conversation anyway. Let's get this thing
It
started.
was cherry and blue raspberry.
Cherry 2000.
They had the Bumblebee was orange and grape, which is a flavor I actually get anyway.
Grorange,
Yeah.
as we like to call it.
Yep.
Drank that shit
Or-
and then you can't talk except for in song lyrics. Should we do this thing? Oh,
Yeah,
wait. Oh,
I
shit,
would.
hold
I
on.
would fucking love
I
to.
I forgot
What
to
do
pull
we-
up a
what's
thing,
going
a
on?
summary thing.
What's
That's
going
all.
on?
Got plot summary.
I forgot to pull it up.
Hey.
Yeah,
Oh.
I fix that.
Sorry.
It's fine.
We got to talk about how he enters the room. Yeah, we had a discussion at dinner about what happened in each Transformers movie, and we got ourselves incredibly confused because we could not figure out which one had which thing.
I know sort of the stuff that happens in one. After that, I just fucking no idea.
It would have been a good podcast. Us sitting there trying to piece together what happened in what
Right,
Transformers
with no
movie.
internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with none of us having seen, well, Harlow seen the newest one, but the rest of them in whatever that was, 5 years ago that the third one came out? Something like that?
What? No.
No.
Optimus.
I think we found a transformer.
I think we found a transformographizer.
a transmogrifizer.
That's what we need to combine is a John Cena horn on Optimus Prime's truck horn. Yeah.
Man.
Peterbilt.
No Oreo butt.
Spine.
So,
Yep. Let's do a thing.
Yeah.
talk about Ice-T and Ice Cube's
Yes.
magnum opus.
Yes. Let's
Tress.
talk about Ice-T and Ice Cube.
Trespass.
Gentlemen.
From the people who brought you Back to the Future. And
who
Forrest
really-
Gump.
Oh, did Bob Gale write Forrest Gump too?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey!
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Hello, BMFcast.
Hello.
Episode 382. Ooh, numbers. So I'm Harlow,
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
and what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie, come in here and talk about it for the first half, and then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They go 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Yeah!
Hooray!
All right!
Hey!
Woohoo!
However, there are bad movies that stay away. They get a negative slugging scale, 1 to 5 bags, as in douchebags after bags of douche. And bad movies in general.
Blah.
Bag it.
So, we were thinking, how many BMFcast alums can we put in one movie and watch it? And the computer spat out 1992's Trespass.
It did. Spit it right out.
Yeah, it forcibly.
Yeah. Phil Paxton, Ice-T, William Sadler, Ice Cube, a litany of other people that have been in BMFcast movies. But,
Tiny lister.
Zeus.
yeah. So let's get a plot summary out of the way and talk more about this. 2 Arkansas firemen, Vince and Don, get hold of a map that leads them to a cache of stolen gold in an abandoned factory in East St. Louis. What they don't know is that the factory is in the turf of a local gang who come by to execute one of their enemies. Vince sees the shooting, the gang spots Vince, and extended mayhem ensues.
Extended mayhem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Sure.
Extended Mayhem.
Yeah, that was the original title for this film, Extended Mayhem.
I like that that's such a long plot summary where they're like, did you ever see Treasure Sierra Madre?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of that.
Yeah.
A Trespass of the Sierra Madre.
Yeah.
So, real quick. So, this movie, Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis wrote it. They wrote it, like, back in the 70s.
Yep.
And the script had just laid around forever. And, of course, right when it got made, directed by Walter Hill, by the way, who is now, for some reason, a BMFcast alum, because...
We went from 2 months ago discussing whether or not we could ever do a Walter Hill movie to having done 2 in, like, the span
1 month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shout Factory.
Exactly. So this was going to come out in the summer of '92. Well, also the LA riots happened around that time, and this movie was initially called The Looters.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh God, we can't release a movie called The Looters during the looting." So they pushed it to Christmas and changed it to Trespass. Which I don't know why they didn't just change it to Trespass and put it out. Why they had to wait 6 months? Because there's nothing remotely related. You know, if you just want to get racist and say, well, it's got black people in it.
Well, at the same time, I will say, was when Ice-T's Cop Killer was out.
That's true.
So
And he was
I
being
think-
very vocal about the...
I think that played a
Yeah.
part in it
Okay.
as well.
But yeah, so this was a Christmas Day release, 1992. So,
Yeah.
Why not trespassers or trespassing or...
because they were all
Nah.
trespass.
So they're all trespassing.
They had...
Trespassinators.
Listen, they had 3 passes.
I see. I
Trespass.
see.
Get
I
it?
see. Yes. There were actually 0 passes in this movie.
It's true, nobody had a pass. A couple people get a pass at the end, though.
Burn!
That also happened.
Yeah,
in this
that's
movie.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, this marks the 7th Ice-T movie we've done.
7.
That's a lot.
Having a lot of
4th Ice
Ice
Cube.
movie.
Yeah.
First with the both of them,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Is this the only one where they're together?
7.
Did I just throw it?
They weren't in 7.
Well, I mean, like, I honestly, like, there was a point in time where I was like, did the Ices ever come together? And then I was
did.
neglecting Trespass, but
Yeah, I don't think they
I was
did.
wondering
again.
if it ever happened
I
again.
don't think so. Unless it's some weird later thing after
Maybe.
if
I don't
Ice-T
know.
showed up in a Are We There Yet movie or something.
Or Ice Cube was on an episode of Law and Order.
Yes.
SVU. Not just regular Law and Order.
Nah.
They're special.
That's right.
Special victims unit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Yeah. So this movie, I mean, it starts with like a little bit of Ice-T, Ice Cube doing something, but not important.
they're watching a gang hit.
Yeah.
Or not a gang hit, but what appears to be some kind of deal gone wrong.
Right.
But they're watching it.
On video.
They're watching the video of someone who videoed it.
Yes.
Right. Which is a
Character
poor way to
named
start your
video.
movie. Like,
Yeah.
zoomed in on CRT TV, like close up, so it was like, welcome to your Blu-ray. Here you can count the pixels
Yeah.
with one hand.
Not a good
Ice-T's
look.
like looked like it was filmed through a screen door.
But
You got fix your camera.
you know, this was a year after like JFK, and like this is when like multiple formats started really infiltrating the fuck out of movies.
Yeah, it shows
Ricochet
up throughout.
had it too. I mean, you know,
Yeah, but this shows up throughout the movie.
yeah. There's
where
there's
it's-
literally a character in their gang with a video recorder. His name is Video.
which apparently was a thing amongst gangs in the early '90s.
Seems like a bad idea.
It does.
Recording all your crime. Just a hunch.
I think it's more just the brazen nature.
Oh,
of
I know.
We can do whatever
I
we
know.
want
I'm just
kind
saying.
of thing. Like,
Yeah.
You know, as a 21st century
Yeah.
white guy, it seems like a bad
Yeah,
idea.
they're just like, nah,
might want to put down the video camera.
we flaunt copyright warning.
that could be evidence later.
Yeah.
Flagrant disregard for the FBI warning.
I just video the TV and put it on YouTube.
Oh, God.
But like the movie kicks off as our other two main characters, Bill Paxton and William Sadler, are firefighters, and they are trying to put out a fire. And there's this guy who kind of like accosts them with a gun in the midst of this fire.
Of an inferno.
Yeah, and is just shouting like, "Take the thing! I never did anything with it. It's still there here.
The Lord's come to haunt me,
Yeah.
etc.
I gotta go."
While brandishing a gun.
Yes, Because they're like, whoa, dude.
hands them the envelope full of whatever.
Yeah.
And
then walks into the fire.
rather than shoot himself in the head,
Yeah.
takes a one-way trip to Burning Man.
He had to purify himself in the fires of Lake Minnetonka.
He shouldn't have done
No?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Use the gun. You'll be done real quick. Fire's a bad way to go.
Or the firefighters were there to rescue you.
Yeah.
So you could just be rescued and die pleasantly of old age.
That too.
No.
He was crazy, I think.
Yeah.
But what it is it's a newspaper article about an old church that had a bunch of priceless gold artifacts in it, and they're all missing, and a map.
Yep.
A very crudely drawn map of
It's a terrible map.
yeah, it's basically a room with an X in one section of it.
Well, he pulls out like this old like parchment paper, cool looking thing on the back, and then opens it up, and it's just a child's drawing of a room and 3 windows, and you're just like, that's the worst fucking map.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just terrible.
They hadn't invented cartography when he did that.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
No?
No.
Huh.
But yeah, so Bill Paxton's the one who uncovers all this stuff, and he takes it over to William Sadler and is like, "Hey, we solved a crime. This is cool. Let's turn this over to the authorities." And William Sadler right away is like, "Hold on.
Hold up.
What if we find it?
What if we go get it?"
I want to know, first off, things first.
Go on.
It's obvious that this guy is just a complete shit ass.
He is.
I mean, it's William Sadler. You can tell by his face that he's a bad guy. Is he the only person that Bill Paxton could befriend in the entire universe, in the entirety of whatever part of Arkansas they're from?
The coworker that was there.
They were firefighter buddies. They were partners.
They have a bond forged in fire.
Yeah. And Bill
Sure.
the reason Bill Paxton is his friend is because Bill Paxton is the easiestly swayed human being on the planet. Because like he goes at this with good intentions of, we solved the crime, now we know why this guy burned himself to death, and we can, also recover this stuff. And William Sadler is just like, yeah, but
Statute of limitations and stuff, and
We're going to take it for ours.
yeah. And Bill Paxton's like, yeah,
okay.
Okay, sure, let's do that.
he's probably like, "Gee, Spike, we're going on an adventure."
Yeah, he is kind of like that.
Yeah.
And for the whole movie, like, if he just has a whiff of doing the right thing, he is immediately told, "No, stop that." And he's like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's not do that. Let's do the bad thing."
Yeah. Well, it's also pretty well established as the movie goes on that Bill Paxton is just super naive.
Yes.
Just like astoundingly naive.
Like how he got to a firefighter position. I mean,
Well,
you
the
can't.
flames don't generally try to trick you.
No, but I mean, you have to have some
What
knowledge
about
of
backdrafts? That's a trick.
science and physics and things. You can't just be a total idiot.
no,
you can't just be a
well,
blank
yes,
piece of paper.
You can
that,
learn that stuff, but you can still be very naive.
I guess. But so they just
Yeah, if you were a police officer, then 100% I'd say bullshit on that.
Fair
but
enough.
firefighters, they
Yeah, you
yeah.
point hose at fire.
Well, and also EMT training, but still.
Yeah.
Either way.
But they're in Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
and they make the trip to East St. Louis.
Yep.
They're like, we're going to go get it.
which I learned today is in Illinois and not Missouri.
Right.
Because I don't know.
Borders are weird.
The Midwest is fucking stupid.
It is.
sometimes.
They drew a bunch of lines. And they were like, "Oh shit, we
drew this in the
have
middle of
like
the
all
city.
our cities. What do we do? I don't know. Let's just leave it confusing."
It's that stupid river. That's what messes everything up.
Yeah.
It really does.
It does.
Stupid river.
Yeah.
If that river had never existed, imagine
Fucking
what our country
A
would
river
be like
runs
right
through
now.
all
Ban
those
rivers.
cities.
Build a wall
Yeah.
around that river.
But
Fuckers.
they get to the old building. It's like an old factory now.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is like 5 minutes movie time tops. Like this movie's like, let's get the fuck over there.
Yeah, they roll up quick. I mean, it's a quick shot of them going across a bridge, and then they're like, "Okay, we're here."
Mm-hmm.
And they just, all right, let's get our gear and let's go get that gold.
Yeah.
They're not casing the joint, nothing. They're just like, it's probably over there. We'll take this place. There's probably a walkway over there, and we'll go.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is where the geography of everything gets a little weird, but they've parked significantly away from where their final destination is, even though all these buildings appear to be connected.
Mm-hmm.
So they just start this trek through this abandoned building, and it's a lot of just like, oh, look at the Bill Paxton's like, this is cool, and when I was a kid, I used to do this, and thought I'd find.
He's on an adventure.
Yeah, basically, he's like, I always thought I'd find things, and they'd say local kid finds thing, and that would be great.
Mm-hmm. And they're going around with a metal detector,
Yeah.
and they find a spot on the floor that's beep 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 beep. And
Well,
so
that's after they find the body. 'Cause
that's right.
They do throw open a door, and they're like, oh fuck, there's someone in here who's hung themselves. And Bill Paxton's like, oh, this is a shame. And William Sadler's like, yeah, whatever. Let's shut this door. Because Bill Paxton's like, oh, we got to call the cops.
Yeah.
William Sadler's like, no,
They don't give a shit.
cops aren't going to do anything. This guy's already dead. Bill Paxton's like, yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, and he's like, well, what if it was a murder? When people commit suicide, they want to be found. And William
Maybe
Sadler's
left a note.
Yeah, William Sadler's like, I don't give a fuck.
This little side plot is the weirdest, completely unnecessary thing. Like,
Yeah, because it does come up later.
it comes
and
up, but it's just like
it's still like, so?
it's kind of like great,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Way to pad your movie with a few extra minutes that you really didn't need.
Well, like if that rope had come into play later.
Anything,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's weird that it does come into play later, but coming into play meaning absolutely nothing.
Right.
Like if they had just stumbled across this thing and then kept going, it would be like, okay, well that's a little bit of local flavor. the people living here are so distraught that they just take to hanging themselves. Oh well. So, but yeah, that's when they whip out the metal detector, and then it's just like, all right, let's the cheapest ass Radio Shack metal detector.
Well, and as I said,
All you're going to find in the
they're pointing it at the floor. I'm
Yeah.
like, that thing is just literally going to go nuts. I mean,
all you're going to find in the entire building is metal.
Yeah. I mean, you have metal between the floors. There's nails in the wood. There's pipes. There's 1,000 things that would be setting that off. There's no gold sitting.
No. But yeah, I mean, it goes nuts like right away, and they're like, "Sweet, we found it," and just start breaking through the floor, and it's pipes and a junction box, and it's like, no, guys, it's not going to be that easy. Otherwise, this movie is not going to be 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they just proceed to tear the fuck up out of this building.
Yeah, and Bill Paxton actually finds a few boards that he's able to pry up, and he finds a can. He's like, "Oh my god!" And he goes, and he's like pulling out ones, and we're like,
Bunch of singles.
"Huh."
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes at a strip club.
Yeah.
He finds.
Yeah, and meanwhile, yeah, pretty much. But meanwhile, drug dealers have shown up,
They have.
and one of them is Argyle from Die Hard, and the other one is just this other guy, and they see the truck and they're like, man, what's going on here? And so this has been established. As Bill Paxton's pulling out the money, someone suddenly hits him over the head with a bat or something, stick, or I don't even know what it is. But he gets in a scuffle with this guy, and we don't know who it is or what's going on. But William Sadler runs over with his gun and is like, "The fuck's your problem? What are you doing? Get off of him!" And that's when we're introduced to Bradley,
Yeah.
who was one of the guys from Die Hard 2.
Yeah,
Correct.
he's like the airport technician dude in
Yeah.
Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he is a homeless man who lives there and is pissed off that they're ripping up his floor and that they're taking his stash.
Yeah. His money.
Yeah, which is like $12. But that's all he's got. So,
Yeah. So they tie him to a chair.
no. Yeah, because William Sadler immediately goes into even bigger shit ass mode than he had been before. Before he had just been kind of like, let's get that money. It's going to be great, man. And then, listen, we don't need any complications. You don't need to call the cops, But now he's just like, well, fuck this guy. Who cares?
Yeah, and Bill Paxton's like, you said if we found anybody, we'd split it with him. And
Yeah.
William Sadler's like, haha, no.
He's like, I've got a mortgage payment on a house that I don't even live there anymore, and alimony, and my rent went up. And
Oh, he goes immediately into, I'm owed this. Like, this gold is owed to me because society has let me down, even though it's probably me being
and he
shit
also
evil.
says, he says, oh, and I got to pay my taxes that go to feeding assholes like this who
Yeah.
don't even have any jobs.
Yeah, so at this
Yeah.
point, you're just like, man, fuck this guy.
And Bradley's like, well, fuck you, man.
Yes, which is his dialogue for the next 20 minutes or
Oh,
so.
my God.
it's pretty great. Like,
Yeah, he's basically, go fuck yourself.
yeah. What's great is Bill Paxton continually kind of keeps like he's still doing like the doughy like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe we could just talk to him kind of thing, and like he's just like, hey Bradley, what do you think? And he's like, fuck you.
Oh man.
It's like the best
and
fortune
William-
cookie magic 8-ball thing ever. It's just like, hey Bradley, what do you think? Fuck you. Okay, well,
Aw.
that's a.
Sorry.
Is there any other answers in there?
Yeah. But they
No.
tie him up to the chair, and William Sadler's just like, keep an eye on him. I'm going to find that goddamn gold.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he hands Bill Paxton the gun, and he's like, you know how to use this? And he's like, yeah, I know how to use a gun.
Yeah.
But Bill Paxton, then he tries to like get buddy with Bradley. He's like, hey man, you know, if they hid gold here, where do you think they'd hide it? And he's like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, fine. You know, my friend's being a dick. Here's like all the cash I have. It's like $40. He's like, why the fuck you think I want your money? And he goes, all right, then I'll keep it. And he's like, well,
Yeah, I'll still take it.
Yeah. So there's some good back and forth between them. But for the most part, Bradley is just like, I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go fuck yourself
Yeah.
for the rest of the movie?
Yep.
And so while this is going on, the drug deal, those guys kind of creep around, and I guess they see them through a window or something.
Yeah,
Or
they're-
William.
They're basically like setting up a sting because they watch
Yeah.
that video and they're pretty sure there's one guy off one of their crew members.
Yep.
And so they're up on
Yeah.
up on the roof.
And our fireman buddies see them go up, and William Sadler's like, "Stay here. I'm going to check this out."
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This room, the room that they've gone in, that they've ended up in where Bradley is, has some kind of like reinforced door with multiple ways to bar it shut.
It was like a block of apartments, and this was the main entrance. So it's this big, heavy door with a giant latch and like a peephole.
Yeah, and a peephole with chicken
Yeah.
wire over it, kind of.
Yeah.
But so this is set up, and the drug dealers have gone up to the roof, where it's just Argyle, this other guy, and then one other guy who's got a briefcase up there that they're meeting with. And
Stoney Jackson.
Stoney Jackson.
He was in Streets of Fire.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There you
right.
go. Yeah.
Guess he's part of the
And
Walter Hill stable of
I
actors.
don't really kind of understand the whole sequence. Like, there's this whole thing where Argyle or whatever his name is in this movie, Lucky is
Lucky.
basically like, hey, I guess they like go at it like I'm going to turn on Ice-T, who's King James, because like he's like, yeah, his stash is right over there in that pipe, and he's like, I'll go check, and he tricks him into like sticking his hand in there. There's a rat trap in there, snaps on his hands, and
Yeah.
basically, that's when he's like, I'm going to punch the shit out of you. Other dude pulls the gun, and like descending from on high, drop down Ice-T, Ice Cube, and Tiny Lister, and it's like. I don't know where they were hiding, but they just kind of came from, like, they were already on the roof, but they descended from somewhere higher.
Yeah.
And they just kind of come down, and they're like,
Now
"No,
we're here.
Yeah, we know it was you. We saw the video. And it's like, and he's like, no, it wasn't me. And he's like,
Yeah.
we saw the video.
It's like,
And-
fuck you then.
And is this when they start with showing the inserts during the movie of basically the guy named Video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Videotaping things.
His video also shows up at that point, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what we've got is he will be interviewing the people in the people in the movie will be talking straight to the camera, like
Right.
almost found footage style.
Yeah.
But it'll be black and white footage, grainy, with little viewfinder bars set to 4:3, and it'll say recording and
Yeah.
all that. So
And about-
this is superimposed on the image
Yeah.
through a lot of scenes. Coming
About
up.
half, I would say about half of the scenes with the gang are filmed like that.
Yeah.
It's intercut sometimes with actual film, but for the most part, I would say about half of
Yeah.
the scenes that are strictly the gang are filmed through the video camera filter.
Yeah, and there are multiple scenes of the guy with the camera going up to. He goes up to the guy they're going to kill, and gets the camera knocked out of his hands by that guy.
Yeah, this is a pretty good camera. It takes a lot of doing later to put an end to this camera because it gets knocked around a bunch.
Yeah.
Most people are like, "Get that fucking thing out of my face, video." But yeah,
but,
it takes some
But the
doing.
back and forth goes for a while, and eventually it's just like, nah, we saw you do it, blam, blam. And dude falls.
Yeah.
All right, he falls through a skylight after getting shot, but it doesn't end there, because, like,
No.
one thing I've noticed, like, I mean, I've seen a good bit of Walter Hill movies, but like it just kind of finally clicked with me. Like, the thing about the stunt work in his movies is it always feels dangerous. Like so many other movies, it's like, oh, well, I clearly see how you did that. You know, the guy got launched in the air right behind a car because there's an air ramp and all this stuff. Everything in like a Walter Hill movie just looks like, fuck, how did you do that without somebody dying? Because dude falls through the skylight, goes about 3 floors down. Kind of, I guess, the wind caught him because he carried over to the side because this is like a big open style room kind of thing, and dude just like lands back first on a guardrail on like a flooring, and then they continue showing him like tumbling the rest of the way down, which is there's nothing comfortable at the bottom there either.
No, it's a car.
Yeah, he smashes a car.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's really
so that guy's dead.
Yeah.
William Sadler has watched this from above. Meanwhile, Bill Paxton has been like, man.
Oh, he was like
He's
on
gone.
he was like on one of the floors, like looking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he left the room. William Sadler was like, stay here till I get back. And Bill Paxton, being naive dummy, kind of just goes out and he's like, oh, wonder what's going on. Oh, man, look, those guys are pointing guns at each other. Oh, I hope they don't shoot. Oh, no. Oh, the body just fell.
Yep.
And then there's a good shot of Ice Cube, looking pleased that he's thrown the guy through a window and then broken his back and then landed him on a car. Who suddenly looking through the glass, suddenly sees Bill Paxton down there, and they're both like,
Yeah,
oh, shit.
It's like a reverse bulletproof because they're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that? Like
Yeah.
looking down at him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then it's
they're both, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then Ice-T's like, get in.
Yeah.
And
Which basically,
and the thing is, like, Bill Paxton doesn't run back into the room. Like, they are down the stairs and on him, like, instantly. Even though, like, he kind of knows that room is safe, but doesn't run back to it. Gets caught by them, and he's like, oh, hey, man, I didn't see anything. No, we're good. We're totally good. We're cool, right? And this also starts when Ice-T will continue to ask, what are you guys doing here? Why are you white boys in here? What are you guys doing in here?
Yeah.
Why are you here? Just tell me. That's all I want to know. Why are you white boys in here? And Bill Paxton like, well, we were just checking the place out, man.
You're just visiting.
I'm nobody. I'm just visiting. And then they're like,
Yeah.
fuck this.
Nah, you're not just visiting. You go to jail, directly to jail. Got past go.
No.
But yeah,
More like you going directly to the grave.
No free parking here.
Yeah. But so they're about to kill him when William Sadler jumps down, grabs Lucky from behind, and is like, and puts
I'll
the
kill him.
Yeah, puts the gun to his head and is like, I'll kill him.
Yeah.
Don't kill my buddy. To which Bill Paxton runs into the room because he's like, this is my chance to get away from guys with guns. And William Sadler somehow gets both him and Lucky back through the door.
Yep.
Where they get shot at, but they don't get hit, but they are able to shut and bar the door, which now begins our setup for the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, this is
basically
probably
a panic room situation.
12 minutes of screen of like into the movie at this point. Probably it's not much.
Yeah, we're no later than 15 minutes in, and this is
This
how
is your
the movie.
setup.
Yeah.
Is they're locked in this room with one guy that's tied up, another guy that's a hostage, and only one of them has a gun.
I'd like to point out that out of 4 people locked in this room, 3 of them are diehard alums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
Yep. And Bill Paxton.
And Bill Paxton.
And Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
So this begins basically your high concept deal for the rest of the movie, which is, all right, you got these guys locked in, you got these guys out there,
Well, they strap Lucky to the door, like
which is smart.
yes, they tie him to the door.
Well,
and
not before like they shoot through the door.
Oh
hop
no!
on the
I
door.
mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of shooting, but then like after that, they strap Lucky to the door, and William Sadler just yells out, "We strapped your guy to the door here."
There was some more yelling between.
Oh, yeah.
because like there was one point like, I just want to point it out because like William Sadler has this like kind of ridiculously long like 45.
It is longer
Like
than it should
it's
be.
like it's just way longer than it
Comically
probably
oversized.
Yeah, because when he pulls it out for the first time, Bill Paxton's like, "Jesus."
But there is a point where he very casually just fires it through the like the mesh
yeah,
stuff that's on this door.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
no. That would
no.
That's gonna ricochet.
Yeah.
Or it would just blast that stuff
Ricochet.
off.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
I've seen
With IT.
Ricochet.
You with me now?
Hey, John Lithgow.
Got that clown life.
Got a John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I caught that too. I was like, nah,
Yeah, no.
He's not getting these shots clean off. No way.
No way.
But
Yeah.
yes, eventually they strap Argyle Lucky to the door.
Yeah.
And are like, hey, they basically call out like, hey, Ice-T, if you're out there, we strap Lucky to the door, so you might not want to shoot.
Yeah.
Plus, we put both of his arms on either side of the door, so if you try to bust it open, you're going to rip his arms out of the socket.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best plan in this entire movie, hands down.
Well, Ice-T's plan is pretty good
No, his
after
hands
this
are up.
because he's just like, he just gets on his phone and is just like, call everybody. Just call in everyone. And he keeps getting calls from some guy named Marvin who's just wants him to do something. And Ice-T is he's just increasingly getting furious at these calls. He's just,
Well, there's a time they're trying to sneak up to the door,
Yeah.
and that's when it rings and it starts another firefight.
Yeah.
He's like, Marvin,
I'm busy.
I ain't got time for you right now, Marvin.
I'm shooting.
We got a hostage situation.
Very busy. I'll call you back. Bye.
Yeah, but this is this becomes very much like Green Room is, where it's the more time that passes, everyone realizes that shit is only going to get worse for the people in the room
Yeah.
that are locked in. Because Bill Paxton's immediately out at the back trying to find ways out, and he tries to go down the fire escape, to which Ice-T immediately tells Ice Cube, get downstairs, make sure they don't get out any other way.
Yep.
And he basically shoots at Bill Paxton on the fire escape, but Bill Paxton doesn't get hit, jumps back inside. He's like, that's a no-go out there. And they try to put a beam across, like out a window onto a catwalk across the way that immediately gets shot up
Yeah.
as soon as they're about to step on it.
Yeah.
I think actually one of them does step
Oh,
on
yeah.
it and has
Oh,
to
yeah.
jump
William
back
Sadler
in.
gets like,
Bill
Bill Paxton
is like 2 steps
Yeah.
out, and it's just like, I actually kind of like this because, like, the whole dead guy, hanging guy is like this dumb setup that means nothing for the whole movie. But this, like, they just do the extended, like, oh shit, like, you know, like he's got the wobbly knees, like it takes like one ginger step out, and then it's like Tiny Lister's just up there with the M16. Is like shooting the board in half. He's like, oh fuck, fall back in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the fact that this was a lot of setup for just nope, not that way.
That board was too long. That thing would have snapped as
Yeah.
soon as somebody got in the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, it snapped with like 4 bullets into it.
Yeah.
It just exploded.
Yeah.
they're large,
But
I know.
so they're not getting out that way. And then this kind of leads to just things being quiet for a while, and them, you know, trying to talk to Bradley and being like, "Hey, you know any ways out of here?
Any extra ways out of here?"
Yeah.
And he's like, well, they've got him gagged at this point, but all you hear him is
Yeah,
you get at least 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah.
And then finally they ungag him. It's like, all right, listen, do you know any extra ways out of here? Let me think. Fuck you.
yeah. I know how you can get out of here.
Which at one point, like, Bill Paxton is reaching Aliens levels of freaking out at one point because he gets very angry at Bradley and almost gets racial with Bradley and is just, he's gonna slap him. He's just, I'm tired of his shit. I'm just gonna smack him. And William Sadler has to be the voice of reason. It's like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah,
Leave him alone.
hey, I'm the loose cannon here.
Yeah.
come on.
You need to be the other guy. So
I'm the
Yeah.
wild card, bitches.
but he's like like when they're talking to Ice-T, Bill Paxton is just the biggest moron.
yeah.
Because, you know, William Sadler's trying to negotiate with him, and he's like, all right, well, we can't let him out, but you got to let us out of here, but we don't want to kill him. We don't want to die either. And we know that if he's dead, that you'll kill us. So we're trying to keep him alive, you know. And Bill Paxton's like, we're going to call the cops. We'll get the cops here. You know, because right now, Ice-T has no clue who these guys are.
None.
And at first, everyone thinks they're cops. And then they're like, well, why would they want cops if they're not? William Sadler's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Not so much yet because they haven't found the goal. Like
Yeah.
he's kind of
Yeah.
on board with the finding the cops because at this point he's like,
But it's
fuck it, we
Somewhat.
just
But
want to get the fuck out
Bradley-
of here.
Somewhat, but Bradley's like, bitch, there's
Yeah.
no cops coming. They don't give a fuck about anything down here.
When they heard the gunshots,
Yeah.
it's like, Who's going to report it?
But Bill Paxton
Pigeons and the rats?
throughout is always just like, well, let's hear him out. Let's hear Ice-T out, and let's hear what he has to say, and maybe we'll walk away from this. And William Sadler has
Which
to
is
be
reasonable.
No.
No.
Yes, it
Under
is.
no
No.
circumstances
Yes, it
is
is.
that reasonable.
They are not walking out of there alive.
Never.
Ice-T is trustworthy.
No.
No, that is
Look
not
him
what the
in
T
his
stands for.
Look him in his
No.
eyes.
He's thrifty, but not trustworthy.
No.
No,
Trustworthy.
you're thinking about
no.
Thrifty Thint.
Oh.
Ice trustworthy.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Ice stand-up guy.
You know what? Ice
Nice tea.
Ice-T might have, but then Ice Cube would have been like, "Nah,
Nah. Blap.
what's wrong with you?" and then killed them.
It's true.
Hear him out, guys.
Yeah,
Come
no.
on.
He was ready to save so much. He saved so much on bullets that because his name is Savon, he was ready to shoot them all.
Yeah.
But so it's bad news. And Ice-T he's on the phone calling in all these guys. So they look out the window and they see more cars showing up and more people getting out of them, and they're like, "Yeah, this is bad, isn't it?"
Yeah.
You know, and they're like getting the armament out. One guy opens up the trunk and they're all like, "Oh shit!" They're like, "Oh yes," because one guy's got a sniper rifle out and he's like, "I was in the army and I was the best shot." And
All right.
that's the dude who's in Showgirls.
Yeah. So, can someone tell me at this point why every gun in this film is wrapped with a million rubber bands?
Prevent fingerprints on the key parts.
So that's the second thing that I thought. The first thing was maybe it's just a grip thing.
It's
Okay.
the cheapest
Like-
grip.
All right.
Yeah, it's a cheap way to keep
I've
a
never
grip
seen
on it,
that
especially
before.
like when you're running. I haven't either, and it didn't mention.
You went
As
to
usual,
the gun database.
yeah, I looked it up on IMFDB, and it didn't mention anything about that.
Because I noticed like Ice Cube and Ice-T had handguns with rubber bands on the
Yep.
grip, and I was thinking, are they like marking like how many people they've killed? Are these like jelly bracelets or what's?
And
I don't
Hey,
think
well-
so because
Well, Bill Paxton was trying to earn a
community,
slap bracelet earlier.
Yeah.
and maybe if you had a wad of cash and you needed a rubber band, you've got one handy
That's
at all times.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That is smart.
That's being ice thrifty.
That is thrifty. Okay. I'd never seen it before, and it was obviously on grips and stuff like where they would hold the guns, but it would seem strange to me. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
they also
they're-
they reveal the guns, but they also come up with the plan. It's like, hey, why don't we call the
they
cops?
Want cops. We got cops.
And they're like, we have a hot cop uniform right here for some
yeah,
reason.
and the one guy puts the hat on, and my favorite thing in the world is black guys doing white guy voice. It is one of my favorite things on earth. And the guy puts on the hat. He's like, "Well, howdy."
Just immediately, like,
Yeah.
like I was ready for this.
Yep.
Because I mean, they almost like practically like hat toss it onto his head.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy just kind of like
Yep.
catches it and it's on his head and he's just like, I was ready for this voice.
Yeah.
Hi there. Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
So they do this dumb ruse where they like pull the siren on a megaphone and then enact this like
Well, and then blow something up.
yeah, they blow up a
somewhere
car
nearby. Yeah.
and the guy dressed as the cop chases another guy and pretends to arrest him, and Bill Paxton's like, the cops are here, sweet.
Yeah.
And he goes over to the window and is watching this, and the cop is like beating the hell out of his friend, and the guy's like, hey man, come on, just knock it off. He's
Oh yeah,
like,
they were like totally like wrestling, calling it out. Like,
Yeah.
hey guys, I got to make it look
I
real.
gotta make it look real, man. And so Bill Paxton's just standing at the window like, cool, the cops are
Cool,
here.
cops.
Meanwhile, the sniper guy is right across from them and is just zeroed right in on Bill Paxton.
And somehow Bill Paxton moves.
He just kind of
enough.
turns like
he just goes, hey, William Sadler, the cops are here. And when he turns is when the guy decides
yeah,
to take a
like,
shot.
like the comic, like right between the eyes,
Yeah.
and then he like does the turnaround, like
Someone shot at me. I
Like-
will continue to stare through this bullet hole.
Yeah, and William Sadler has to tackle him.
this guy hates this window.
Yeah. And then Ice Cube definitely hates the window because he's up there
Oh.
with an M16. He's just like, fuck this, and just sprays everything. Which
Yeah.
these windows are surprisingly bullet resistant. Like, they don't shatter like every other window does when someone comes up and just taps it.
Yeah.
It's all very well-defined bullet holes for most of these windows. Like, for as run down as this building is, the glasswork in this building is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all intact. It's super strong. Like,
Yeah, it takes multiple bullets.
yeah. Yeah.
It all depends on the glass, man. All depends
Yeah.
on the glass.
But, like,
mean,
Bradley falls over.
It would be.
Trying to-
It should be a goof. It would be a goof on the IMFDB. the M16 wouldn't leave the little perfect bullet holes
Yeah.
because
No.
they
I
tumble.
mean, they look like
the sniper
demon
rifle would go
holes
through.
almost.
They would go.
16 rounds don't tumble.
They do.
No.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
I thought they did.
No.
I thought all the ones like that did.
Chuck
Okay.
and I have nothing to contribute to
I
this
have
conversation.
no idea. It's just
We're like,
it's just
bullets. They come out of
Yeah.
guns fast
They
and
do.
hurt people.
Cool. Yeah, and make neat holes in this
Yeah.
movie. But
Yeah.
like Bradley falls over because he's trying to get away from the gunfire.
Well, no, he falls over because they're shooting up his chair.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, like he's actively trying to get away from it, but also so he goes over and is just screaming his head off.
Yeah. He's like, "What the fuck did you guys do?"
But this is a good hail of gunfire for a good
Like,
minute or so.
I-
Because Ice Cube is having
Ice Cube
none of this. He
finishes off the magazine.
Yeah,
Yeah. There are no bullets left in there.
no, he has a murder boner for the entire.
Yeah.
He's not having any of this negotiating shit. He's just like murder these white fools. Enough of this.
And we also will note that they think there are 3 people in there.
Yeah.
But they think that there's 3 white guys in there.
Yeah.
Because they don't know that one of them's a homeless guy because Lucky is able to yell something to him. He's like, "There's 3 of them," before one of them
Before he
grabs
got
him and
gagged.
gags him.
Yeah.
So they still think that there's one more guy in there that they're trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
So they've shot up the place, and then Ice-T's like, "Why you doing this?"
Yeah, you gonna hit Lucky.
Yeah. He's like, "Why you gonna kill Lucky?" And Ice Cube's like,
Yeah.
we gotta do what needs to be done.
Yeah. Tired of this.
Yeah.
We got places to be. Stuff.
Yeah. But so that doesn't work for them. And this kind of starts the sequence of them just kind of like being like, "Huh, what the fuck are we gonna do, man?"
Yeah.
And they realize that there's somebody walking around above them, which is Tiny Lister, because he's wearing spiked shoes.
Cleats, because
Yeah,
his name
Cleats.
is Cletus.
It's-
Everyone in this film is named for what they are.
yeah. Well,
And so
it makes it easier to remember who
Yeah.
they are.
And this is a long sequence of William Sadler studying this gap to this
Yeah.
catwalk where they were going to lay the boards over and climb across, and he's just like,
Well,
I
he's put a door down, kind of ramped up.
ramp, but he's like, I can make it, I can jump, and he's just constantly like doing a couple of practice runs, and it's just like gearing himself up for it. And Bill Paxton's like, hold on, there's a guy up there with a gun. We have no idea where he is. And William Sadler's like, I don't care, I'm just going. And Bill Paxton's like, wait, you say he's got cleats on, right? So he gets the metal detector and is scanning the ceiling for metal, which he eventually finds and is like, he's over here. He's like, over here in the middle of the room. William Sadler's like, sweet, I'm going. And then Bill Paxton's like, wait, hold on, he's moving. And he moves it over a little bit, and the thing just starts going metal crazy. And William Sadler comes over and is like, and they're like, yeah, it's in the ceiling, let's get it. So they just whip out a table, and they go over to Bradley and are like, we're going to untie you because we need your chair. He's like, sweet, untie me, take my chair. I got a table downstairs you can have too, I don't care. So he gets untied, and they put this rocking chair on top of this table, this rickety-ass table.
Yep.
And, William Sadler just starts digging around in the ceiling. They find the gold.
Yeah.
They pull out, the Holy Grail at first.
Well, and they're like, that dumb son of a bitch. He drew it backwards.
Yeah.
And they realize, no, he was laying on his back looking at the ceiling.
And they're like, womp womp. It's like, ugh, who cares? But yeah, so William Sadler just pulls down all this gold. And Bradley's like, you mean that shit's been here the entire time I've lived here?
Yeah.
Son of
Poor
a bitch.
Bradley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is also where, like, Bradley goes, man, gold. This shit's sturdy. That, you know what? This stuff was around before you and me, and it'll be around long after we're dead.
He turns into Gold's hype man for
Yeah.
some reason. He's just like, you could blow it up, you can burn it, you can piss on it. It's always going to be gold. It's like,
Yeah, and Bill Paxton's like, whoa, that really makes you think, bro. and William Sadler is just like, yeah, you probably heard it at a pawn shop.
Yeah. And Bradley's like,
And Bradley's like,
fuck you.
yeah. Hey, guess what? Fuck off again.
Right. We're back to that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just like, yeah, sweet. Okay, we got all this gold. Now what do we do? And William Sadler at this point has kind of resigned himself to, it's a shame we found this gold and we're never getting out of here. Like, there's nothing we could do with it now. We're fucked.
And but this is when they cut a deal with Bradley. Basically, well, because at first they're like, Bill Paxton's like, let's just let Bradley go, man.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't deserve to die. He just lived here. He got stuck with us.
Let's let him out.
Like, we can let you out. Maybe you can, if they let you go, we get help, but there's no good in here.
Yeah. And they're going to let him
they're
go.
like, maybe we'll give you some gold when we get out. And he's like, nah, I want more gold.
Yeah.
I want the gold. Give me the gold.
Yeah. And it's at this point where he's like, you give me some of the gold, I'll tell you the secret way out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, you motherfucker. You've been holding back on us.
What I love is that, like Bill Paxton in this, you would never take Bill Paxton to a car dealership ever.
Oh, no.
With the guy, because he's like, well, we'll give you half. And then William Sadler's like, fuck you, we'll give you half. We'll give you 10%. And he's like, we split it 3 ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so they decide that they're cutting Bradley in now.
Yep.
And he goes, yeah, there's a chimney back there. You can probably climb out through that. Mm-hmm. And they're like, wait, what? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yep.
And he's like, no, it's right back there.
It's right behind this wall.
Yeah.
They're kind of shitty firemen. I gotta say,
they're
like,
really bad at assessing their situation too, because it's just right there. There's a stove right there that has a pipe that goes into a big brick portion of the wall.
Yeah.
Just
Like, why they didn't like have a stop at City Hall to get the plans for the building or whatever.
No,
you know, it's
no.
like, you guys are fucking... They literally thought they were going to walk in there with a metal detector, find it on the first go, and just be like, sweet, look at all this gold. I guess we're driving home now.
this movie is basically a simple Jack plan. So, there's your Bill Paxton connection.
Very good. Yep.
Yeah, but so they're like, all right. Well, they look and they're like, man, so we'd have to climb up to get out.
Yeah, we can't climb down because they're all down there.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get us.
Yeah,
So we climb up to the roof and then jump over to another building. And
yeah. And I guess they were going to carry the gold with them.
yeah, they had it in a sack. They were Bradley was going to carry it.
Gold's not light.
No.
That's another thing about it. Like, gold is not like a because the way they lug this bag around, it's like it's full of aluminum cans.
Yeah,
And it's
no.
like, no, that thing weighs hundreds of pounds.
I don't know. That one dude is selling it. The Art Evans guy,
Yeah.
Bradley, is selling it well.
Yeah.
I mean, like every time he picks up that bag, it's just like.
Yeah.
but you would like
You couldn't pick it up.
a bag that size full of gold. You
that's
wouldn't
assuming
be able
it's solid gold, and I mean, it's
They
in
said
the
it
shapes
was.
of things. I mean, it's like what carry. I mean, whatever. I'm
I
just saying,
know,
there's a lot of
It's still
variables.
probably kind of heavy, but
to figure making all those things out of lead
Yeah.
and put them in a bag and see how easy it is to lift. It's
Yeah, I mean, they didn't exactly establish how many things he pulled out
True,
of the ceiling
true.
either.
but like the guy who brought all the guns to Ice-T, Ice-T has kind of been barking orders at him while he's been on the phone trying to make deals to go somewhere else because he's got business. And he's like, you need to go figure out how they got here. And he's like, I don't work for you. And Ice-T just pulls out a stack of cash and hands it to him. He's like, you work for me for the day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's like, I'll call you back.
Yeah, he was literally on the phone and goes, we're going to have to reschedule that.
Yeah. And so he goes out and finds their car and just fucks it up. Just
Yeah.
kills all the
He
tires.
takes the license plate, stabs the tires.
Yeah.
They got a CB radio in there. Smashes that.
fucks that thing up.
Apparently disconnects the battery. Just,
breaks a window.
Yeah.
yeah, their car's fucked.
And he's driving back.
Well, no. Before that, he finds the packet. He finds the packet.
Right,
in the,
yes, they
in
had
the
it
visor.
under the... Yeah, which...
Yeah.
Come
Again,
on, guys.
still, yeah.
Christ.
Fuck everything
idiots.
dumb they could possibly do.
Yeah. So...
He pulls the packet out and looks at it, and he's like, I see what they're here for.
Yeah.
Gold.
And he's driving back to the location, and suddenly, in the midst of all this rubble and nonsense, a cop car,
Yeah.
literally
Now
out of
the cops
nowhere,
show up.
woo, pulls him over in the middle of this just rubble, this one-way
Yeah.
path through rubble. The cops pull him over, and they're like, "Oh, we got a report of gunfire around here. I bet you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?" And he's like, "No, I was just looking for a place to take a leak." And
And yeah, and the cop is the dude who replaced Skinner in
Yes,
X-Files.
yeah.
And
Kirsch, was that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and meanwhile the sniper has him like in his sights.
Yeah, he's like, and the the other guy with him is like, "Man, you're not going to take out a cop, are you?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know."
He's like, but I mean, he's got it trained right on the dude's ear.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
But yeah, he's like, I don't know if I got to, I got to, but
But they get a call, and
Yeah,
they're
it-
just like, "We got another thing. Just leave."
well,
this
yeah,
guy
he
alone."
goes, he goes back to the car, and the guy's like, "What are we even doing here?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, he's a black guy. We're supposed to harass him." I mean,
Keep in mind, both these cops are black, also. But they're just like, we got a 1048 over we got a thing.
Yeah, let's just...
This guy's got nothing.
Yeah.
And he's just like, all right, pal, don't pee here. Just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's a gas station
Find a
down the
rest
street.
stop.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they leave.
But meanwhile, Bill Paxton has looked out the window and been like, dude, cops.
Yep.
And because they have the gold now, William Sadler's like, no.
Right.
And just fucking takes him out.
Yeah.
And they get in a huge fist fight. I mean, they're beating the shit out of each other.
Yep.
And eventually, like,
Bill Paxton gets the gun.
well,
Because
eventually,
he's going
Not
to
for
fire.
long.
No, but he's going to fire a shot to alert the cops.
well, yeah, well,
And is
William,
immediately tackled again.
well, yeah, because it's this shot, like, it's just Bill Paxton wandering up to the window with his hand, with the gun up, going, "Hey guys, I'm about to
Yes.
you know, instead of just shooting the gun once he had it.
Yeah. But yeah,
he
no.
looked like he was like going to wave at the cops or something.
Yeah. Hey, gun.
While holding a gun, so they'd probably immediately open fire on him. But
Yes.
anyway,
They beat the fuck out of each other
yeah,
a good amount. Like, their friendship might be in trouble.
yeah, you think? But by the end of this, finally, like William Sadler's like, "All right, man, they're gone. So just forget about it.
Yeah.
We're climbing out this chimney."
No cops.
Yeah, and that's when Lucky is like freaking out, and they're like, "Well, what are we going to do about Lucky?"
Yeah, he's been having withdrawals because he's on the drugs.
Yes, he is a heroin addict.
Yeah.
And he's apparently gone long enough and needs his fix.
Also, Bradley is refereeing the fight between William Sadler and Bill Paxton just by saying, like, look, William Sadler's
Not
crazy,
really.
but he's right.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's completely, for whatever reason, on his side.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what he's just judging in favor of William Sadler the whole time. He's like, look, even if the cops come up here, they're just going to take the gold for themselves.
Yeah, they're gonna
That's
shoot
what
you,
cops
yeah.
around here do.
Yeah.
So you can't, no. We just have to get out of here.
Yeah,
You're wrong, Bill
I'm just
Paxton.
saying he's on every harebrained scheme
Yeah.
along with William Sadler now at this point for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think because it's like, I'm going to get a share of the gold. All right, this
Yeah.
guy. Well, because you're too panicky.
Yeah.
He's
And
the
now
guy
you-
with the gun.
Yeah.
And Ice Cube has basically come up with a plan, like, we need to just burn this building down. And Ice-T's like, nah, because Lucky will get burned up. And Ice Cube's like, not if he's lucky. And
Yeah.
Ice-T's like, we're not risking it. We're getting Lucky out. And Ice
Ice
Cube's
Cube's like, "He's not even your brother."
yeah.
He's like, "I raised him since he was 7.
Yeah. So Ice
You
Cube
shut your
and
face."
Ice Cube and the arms dealer guy is like, hey, Ice Cube, you're the only one who seems like you have an idea of what the fuck is going on. King James has lost it. Guess what I found? It's information about gold. He shows him this packet, and man, Ice Cube gets this zoom on his face, and he's just like, gold.
But he licks his gold tooth first. Like, he just
I
does
got a
this,
taste for it.
gold.
Gold.
So now you've got these two who are like, okay, these guys have gold, so we can't just burn them out yet. But
Yeah, and Ice Cube had also shot down the walkway. So
yes.
there's no way they were
They
jumping.
can't jump
to it.
across now, yeah. So the chimney is literally their only way out.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Ice-T has come back to the door. He's like, "It's time to negotiate."
Let's talk.
Yeah. And he's like, I just want to talk. It's like, I'm coming out here. I got no guns. I just want to talk to you and figure this out.
And Bill Paxton's like, oh, we should listen to him.
Yeah, we should hear him out.
I wonder what he has to say.
Yeah.
William Sadler's like, you fucking idiot. No.
But and then Ice-T, like, he's like, they're like, all right, we'll talk to you. And they open the little thing. He's like, just open the shield.
Yeah.
And talk to me. And they're like, all right, shield's open. Well, what do you want? And he's like, I just want to know why you white boys are here.
Why? Tell
Why
me.
are you here? What are you doing here? Why are you here? And they're like, we were just visiting. Just checking it out.
That's what Bill Paxton shouts out. William Sadler's like,
so-
you fucking idiot.
He's like, well, deal with us. What do you want?
Yeah.
You want him? And he's like, no, I just want to know, why are you guys here?
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is somebody fires a shot downstairs.
Oh,
Ice Cube's outside.
Yeah, Ice Cube and what's his name have realized that they're trying to negotiate,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Let's fuck this up."
Yeah.
And so they go downstairs to do. They have some sort of plan. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, they kind of say like, oh, the other guy was at the catwalk or something.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Ice Cube,
He just sees the catwalk and is like, I'll just if I shoot this, I'll take that out of the equation.
Yeah. But like before that, well, yeah. So Ice Cube fires off some shots, and that causes like, oh shit, they're Ice-T's basically comes to the realization that they're not going to negotiate.
Yeah.
But the problem is that Lucky is like super just freaking out because he's withdrawing.
Yeah.
And they're like, William Sadler's like, okay, we need to shut him up. And Bill Paxton, his conscience comes back. He's like, but we can't kill him. He's like,
No.
why don't we just knock him out? And he hands him like one of their firefighter tools. He's just like, fine, here, take this deadly
hit him over
weapon
the
and
head.
knock him out.
giant
over the head
fucking
with it.
crowbar.
Yeah. And he's like, what if we just give him his drugs? Mm-hmm. And they're just like,
They
do you
realize-
know how to do the drugs?
No.
So they have to ungag Lucky so he can tell
Tell them
them.
how to cook up his heroin so that. And man, William Sadler takes like fucking 45 cc's of heroin. And
Oh,
it's
he
just like,
the whole thing goes
yeah,
into that
he
needle.
Was, yeah,
Yeah, and he's
Argyle was not surviving the horse trip there.
no, and he's gonna shoot him up, and he's like, "Come on, man, you're gonna hurt my veins if you do it. You don't know what you're doing. Just free one of my arms and let me do it." And William Sadler, like a fucking idiot, is like, "Yeah, all right, that makes
All right,
sense.
well,
Yeah, go ahead and let me stand real close to you.
Let me watch you do it. Do it." And so Argyle's like, "Come on, man, give me a second. I'm getting it," and then just jabs him in the fucking neck
yep.
and injects all that heroin into him. And the needle is still there. So this is like total chaos now because Bill Paxton and Bradley run back into the room like, what the fuck is happening? So they've got,
Lucky.
crazy Lucky running around. William Sadler's on the ground with a giant needle in his neck, and he's fucking out of it. He's out of his mind. He is on all the heroin, and he's just like, gold. You gotta gold.
He's seeing Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now, now Bill Paxton's got a fight with Lucky.
Yep.
And
Over by the window, of course.
over by the window, and they get to wrestling around,
Yeah.
and that's when dude from Showgirls, who's gonna snipe,
He's like, cool, I'll take a shot.
yeah, and of course snipes him instead, and Bill Paxton falls back. It's a slow motion shot that makes it look like Bill Paxton has been hit.
Yeah.
But no,
No, he just falls back out of
yeah,
shock.
Wrong time to shoot, and Moneypenny's Lucky fucking snipes him instead. And Bill Paxton falls back. It's a slow motion shot that makes it look like Bill Paxton has been hit.
Yeah.
But no.
No, he just falls back out of
Yeah.
shock like, oh my,
Yep.
those guys mean business.
Yeah. Lucky's dead. And so he scrambles back around, and it's like, all right, shit.
Yeah.
Because we can't bring him. We can't bring the gold. We can't get out of here.
Nope.
So he basically tells. He basically says, you guys, you need to take him into this back room, hide there. I'll go out the chimney, and they'll think that we all went out there.
And then I'll get the car.
And then I'll get the car and come back, and I promise I'll get you. And they'll be trying to find me, but I'll come back and get you. But they won't think that you're in there because they'll think that we already left.
Yes.
And meanwhile, the dude who shot Lucky calls the henchman, like basically Ice-T's right-hand man, and is like, dude, I shot him, but it wasn't my fault.
That was a bad thing to do.
Yeah, that was just dumb.
Like, he should have just said, they shot Lucky. I'm sitting here.
Yes.
I saw them. They shot him right in front of the window.
Or, bear with me, maybe he shouldn't have taken that shot.
Maybe.
Maybe if he was the best shot in the army,
Sure.
we're fucked.
Yeah. But, yeah, so he's just like, look, man, I didn't mean to kill him, but I totally killed him. I got other places
It's
to be.
not my fault.
I'm out.
I'm moving to Arkansas or wherever is further than Arkansas because, no, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
The furthest place that exists in this movie is Arkansas.
Yes.
No. But the henchman, to his credit, when he comes back, he says, the white guys killed Lucky. He doesn't say that the buddy killed Lucky.
Yeah.
He's like, no, the white guys took him out. He's
Yeah.
dead.
They killed him.
And then Ice-T's like, oh, well, fuck all this.
Burn this motherfucker down. And Ice Cube's like, fucking finally.
Yep.
Let's do this. Let's get all our ingredients and video. I want you here to record every second of it. as we build our bombs
Yeah.
out of C4 and cleaning fluid.
Yeah. They're going to take this building to its foundations. I mean, they're ready to take this fucker down now.
I guess the gun runner guy had C4 in his car.
I guess.
Because, I mean, they just kind of like, hey, we have C4 now. It's
Yeah.
like, the fuck?
And
Why?
Ice Cube was totally
Must
cool
have.
with it. Like, he's, they're C4 and shit all the time, and he's St. Louis. But yeah, Ice Cube's just, building his time bombs, and they're just prepping all the shit, and it's a long sequence of watching it on video.
But Ice Cube storms upstairs and just starts shooting up the door, and they hit the door with a Molotov, and that's when Bill Paxton's like, "Shit, gotta go,
Yeah.
get in there."
Yep.
He drags William Sadler in there, but then William Sadler goes, "Where's the gold?" And Bradley's like, "Fuck me."
Yeah.
So he has to go out and get the bag of gold and drag it back into the room, which I will note, like, the geography of this room, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like how there's this separate room with another door, and just there's a lot of like, what?
Yeah.
But of course, as he gets to the gold, the guys break the door down after burning it, and he kind of like scrambles and hides behind something. Ice-T sees that the chimney is knocked out and that somebody's gone up it, and he's like, all right, he's getting away, because he actually looks up and sees him.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm going to get this motherfucker.
Killed Lucky.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Bill Paxton is rappelling down the side of the building.
Yeah.
And goes by one window when Ice-T sees him and is like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And is about to shoot him, but then has to knock out the window first.
Yes.
To which Bill Paxton has dropped further down and then diehards himself through one of the windows at the bottom of the building.
Ice-T has also told Stoney Jackson to make sure that they get Lucky out of there so that it doesn't
don't let
burn.
Lucky burn.
And Stoney Jackson is like, but
he's
dead? What the fuck? Whatever, dude. And this is like, so like when Zeus isn't up on the roof shooting people, his goal is to run around and just throw a body over his shoulder and take it somewhere. There's like 3 or 4 shots of him just taking bodies and running around. And he comes in to get Lucky and runs off. And that's the last time we see Zeus. Like, I have no idea what happens to him.
You mean Cletus?
He's Zeus.
Zeus.
We're calling Bill Paxton and William Sadler not by their names.
Cletus.
So whatever, Zeus. So, yeah, so he's taking Lucky off somewhere to live on a farm with him because we never see them again.
But
yeah, Bill Paxton's on the ground and runs over to his truck. It's just like, he's
well, he sneaks around in the basement first, and where they were supposed to make their deal, and the guy who was waiting for Ice Cube is like, "Is that you?" And he's like, Bill Paxton's like, "Nope, nobody here but his chickens."
Yeah. But he does eventually
gets to the car,
and he's just like increasingly like looking at each fucked thing of his truck.
He comes to the disconnected whatever thing from under the hood. He's just like, oh damn.
Yeah.
And then like sees the broken radio. He's like, oh shit. And he sees the slashed tire. He's like, oh fuck.
Honestly,
it's like all of those things by themselves mean you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
to me, that reminds me. It reminds me of the same reaction he had when Carrie Elway's van gets sucked up by the Twister in Twister, and he's watching it happen. He's like, "Oh man!"
I thought in Twister he just kind of went. I thought it was like this real subdued, like, I don't know how to feel about this because that guy was a shithead.
He does this and then he hits the dash.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing where he's like, "Oh man," but he knows that he's fucked now. Things are bad there.
yes, they are.
Yeah.
And upstairs, like William Sadler has kind of regained.
Well, he hasn't yet. What happens is, Bradley is trying to move the bag.
Correct.
For God knows why.
Well, he's trying to get out the chimney. He's got to go.
Well, no, the other guy's still up there, though.
Yeah, that's true.
The other guy's still up there waiting around, and he rattles the bag, which the guy hears, and then starts attacking the door with an axe. And then he comes in, and Bradley's just like, "Hey, man, I'm just a homeless dude."
Yeah.
To which William Sadler is able to he's like, "I'm heroin strong now," and just fucking knocks this guy out. Comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's like he should have been out for the rest of the day.
Knocks him out and takes the gun.
Yeah.
And that's when Ice-T comes back, comes around the corner, and he's like,
"Tell me why you white boys are up here."
All right. I
last
know I
time.
asked you a few times, but like for real, I'm super curious. Like I need to know why were you white boys here? And he's like, gold, man.
Yeah.
It was all about the gold.
It's like,
And-
oh,
And I don't even know what Ice-T says back to him, but they just end up shooting each other.
yeah, yeah. They both go out in a very nondescript way.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like, and keep in mind, this room's on fire.
Oh yeah, it's a raging
like-
inferno
yeah,
around
like, it's-
everybody at this point.
And people keep coming back into this room.
yeah,
Despite only two of them, only a couple of them really knowing that there's gold in that room.
Mm-hmm. yeah, and so like the two of our four main characters are now out of the film. They're gone.
Yeah.
And is this when Ice Cube comes into the room while the guy's like,
Well, what happens is Ice-T's phone rings,
"Yep,
and Bradley answers it, and,
right.
and it's Marvin again, and he's like,
No,
Ice-
he's not.
he can't come to the phone because he's,
he's
dead."
dead.
Which really was a bad. Don't answer that phone.
No.
But,
Have a little,
But-
live your
I
best
guess.
life. Have
Bradley's
a little fun.
not, you know.
Yeah, but he also at this point two of the other henchmen, one of them being Video,
Mm-hmm.
who's not videoing anymore because Ice Cube got so sick of it that he took the camera and he smashed it
Yeah.
and like wrecked it, like made a point to destroy this thing. And he's like, it's all gonna burn with the fire now.
To which we see
So leave
point of
it.
view of the video camera dying, like the signal go. Pew, but-
Yeah,
like okay, farewell thing we were seeing for
Yeah.
half the movie.
yep. But so that's gone. But Video and the other guy are basically one of the dudes is aiming the gun at Bradley, and Bradley's like, man, I'm just here, man. This
Yeah.
sucks. And the other guy's like, he's a brother. We can't just kill him.
He's like, I'm tired of shooting brothers. I'm
Yeah.
tired of this. I'm tired
Yeah.
of this life.
Yeah,
You can do it if you want to, but I'm out.
Yeah.
And the other guy's just like, get out of here, old man.
To which Bradley's like, are they gone? Let me
Bag
grab my
and
bag
go.
of stuff.
Yeah.
And as he's going out, that's when Ice Cube comes up there.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I heard there was a raging inferno up here and also gold.
I bet that's in your bag. Give it to
Yeah,
me.
and he's like, no, this is just my homeless guy stuff.
He's like, nuh-uh.
He's like, nah, you got gold in there.
Give it to me.
Hand it over.
He's like, all right, man, I don't want it. You can have this gold.
Yeah, and that's when he like the other guy shows up, the Mr. Smooth,
Yep.
Yeah, the gun runner dude.
Yes.
and Ice Cube's like, you were supposed to meet me in the basement. And he's like, yeah, I was, wasn't I? But I kind of didn't trust you, and now I think I know why.
Yep.
And they get
They also shoot each other.
they get in a gunfight where they shoot each other,
Yeah.
and it kills the other dude, but Ice Cube doesn't die right away.
He's shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, he's shot in the shoulder, and Bradley's like, "I'm just gonna take this gold and leave, so bye." And
Yeah.
and Ice Cube's like, "No, wait, that's my gold. Come back.
Yep.
God damn it."
But yeah, he drops it down the chimney chute.
Yeah, comes back, drops down the chimney chute, and goes down there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bill Paxton's like, "All right, well, I guess I'll just go back."
I'll just walk back towards the building, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll catch up with heroined up William Sadler. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe Bradley will get out. Yeah, and he runs up as the building goes up because before Ice Cube had died, he had set a timer when he was going to get out of the building to blow the whole damn thing up, which it does. They blow this building the fuck up.
Yeah, it's a good. Every window has a gigantic fireball pushed out of it, and yeah, Bradley's outside and Bill
Yeah.
Paxton's
Yeah,
outside.
Bradley shows up and he's like, "I got out through the furnace in the bottom because they had all left, and
Yeah.
I was able to escape through there." And he's like, "But your buddy's dead, and I had to leave the gold." Bill Paxton's like, "Oh man,
That's a shame.
that's a shame. Why don't you come with me?"
Yeah.
And Bradley's like, "No, you need to get out of here.
You need
They
to
won't
go."
bother me, but they will kill you on sight."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Huh?
Oh,
Well, why don't you come with me?" And Bradley's like, "No, for real. You need to go.
get out of here.
I need to stay."
Yep. And Bill Paxton's like, yeah, okay, see ya.
All right, yeah.
Turns around and runs off. And Bradley just picks up the bag of gold and is like, ha.
Yeah.
And then the credits
And
roll.
walks off as the credits are rolling, laughing to himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Trespass plays over the closing credits.
Yep, Stargrove.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Ice Cube and Ice-T
collaborate
together.
Yep.
Stargrove.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's also a music video on this disc for Trespass, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, it's one of those early 90s
all right.
videos that are just like random clips from the movie
Yeah.
as someone...
But there's a little
Plays
mini
over.
movie going on here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Lots of shots of Ice Cube firing a machine gun while doing his lyrics at the same time. It's pretty good.
That's what you want.
It is what I want.
That is 100% what you
Yes.
want. And Ice-T overselling his lines.
Oh, he is very animated.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely Stargrove.
Yep.
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 Sadly, no one quite gets to an instant level. They come close. Like multiple people on multiple occasions.
Yeah, pretty much everyone almost
Yeah.
gets there.
Yeah, I mean everyone's just like at like a high amp level throughout this entire movie.
But
So.
yes. Pretty amped.
Yeah, but
Right.
otherwise the soundtrack, it's Ry Cooder, and it's really weird. Because it's like almost like atonal jazz some of the time, and then other times it's just...
Crunchy guitar
Crunchy
riffs.
guitar.
Wicked licks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like whenever they're showing
then
shots
rap.
of those bombs, like whenever the bombs are being set up, it's always just... It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, but then when it's like when people are arguing or whatever, it's like...
Yeah.
Like, it's really
Like
weird.
I
in
kept
the
looking at the
background.
speakers like, did someone step on a duck? What? it's yeah, odd stretched out trumpet noises and but yeah.
Yeah,
I can rate it.
go for it.
So I kind of feel about this movie the same way I feel about Shaft. It's almost too good for us. It's not necessarily it's just not a bad movie. I mean, it's a well-made thing.
It just has people we love in it.
Yeah, and it just seemed like a no-brainer to do. But it just feels like on the bad movie Fiends jock scale, there's just not enough in it to where it's like, oh man, it hits this box and this box and this box. So, like I said, I think I gave Shaft 3 jocks. I'm like, that's a respectable rating. My actual movie rating will be higher than that because that's how these things work. I feel the same way about this, so I'm going to give it 3 jocks. It's very entertaining. It's certainly entertaining. It doesn't waste any time, really. It gets going. There's no exposition almost at all.
No. They trim that fat quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple...
The hanging guy is the only fat really in this movie.
Yeah, because like Bradley explains, like he had a buddy who lived there, and he hadn't seen him since the summer, and he can never get his shoes on right, and they're like, oh, that's the guy who's dead. And it's like, well... Yes, but, and, it's like, did that guy have a key or, like a walkie-talkie or something?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, other than that, and there's a couple moments where it just feels like the story is kind of spinning its wheels a little bit. Like, it's just kind of killing time for no reason. It's fine. I mean, it's a perfectly acceptable little movie. I was surprised how not violent it was for how violent it is. Like, there's a lot of people getting shot, but not really a lot of violence associated with
Yeah,
it.
not a lot of squibs
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. But I think Ice-T in this movie is super fucking cool looking. Like, is that early Ice-T, long straight hair and wearing a suit,
Yeah.
And like at one point where they're like negotiating with him, and he's like, "We don't want any troubles with your gang." He's like, "Motherfucker, this is a business."
Yeah.
I'm a
Gang.
businessman.
Fuck you. I love Ice-T in this. I think Ice Cube is unhinged in this, and that's fun. It's totally fine. 3 jocks. It's a better movie than our rating scale allows for.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think 3 jocks is the right place for this. It's also, like, I think we've talked about it before, but it's got that 1992 Universal film stock look
Yeah.
to it, where,
Yes.
like, you know exactly what year this was made and which company made it.
But I was surprised at how good the Blu-ray looked. I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be more washed out than that, because
Yeah.
those Universal movies from that era do look like that, washed out, and it's like,
Yeah.
They did a good job with this.
Yeah, but it's also one of those movies that just they don't make these anymore, where it's just this tight, lean. Here's what's happening. We're not doing there's not a big cast, and we're not having a ton of locations, and we've almost got this high concept thing where it's like, all right, dudes are locked in a room, and got to find a way out. But they got to get the gold out with them. You know, they got to get the loot with them. So that type of stuff, I like. And it's just it's tight. and I think all the performances are good.
Yes.
You know, like even Ice-T, though we make fun of him, he's solid for what he is in this movie.
Yes.
Like he's giving you exactly what he should be giving you, and the same goes for Ice Cube.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Bill Paxton is always reliable, even though, man, he is just such a fucking dork in this one that like it's infuriating, but it's also kind of like it's interesting because like you can see his point and you can see William Sadler's point, and you can even see Bradley's point. You know, when they're discussing things about as far as like how the fuck are we gonna get out of here, and
Bradley's
you know,
kind of the only good guy in this.
Well, we
Kinda.
assume, we don't know.
I mean, he
but
could have a
he's
bad
still
backst-
in
yeah.
it for himself.
Also, yeah, I mean, he kind of goes along with his plan pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it does kind of end anticlimactically, and the only like real studio thing that seems to poke in is that Ice Cube is never shown dying.
Yeah.
He's just shown as being injured, and then there's there's time passes where he could escape, but you know. But aside from that,
Trespass 2,
Yeah.
The Search for Bradley's Gold.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch it too.
Yeah, I would watch that.
Yep.
But yeah,
What's
I
wrong
mean,
with you?
it's
There's
one of those
only
movies-
Thing.
Yeah, it's just one of those well-made, lean movies with a bunch of dudes we enjoy watching.
Yeah.
So 3 jocks for me.
Yeah, this is kind of a hard movie to encapsulate with like what we usually kind of talk about on here. Like there's a lot of goofiness to it, but then it's also it's such a bizarre movie because it's like it's a real movie played kind of goofy, written by like people that are not known for writing this kind of movie at all, and then performed by the right kind of people for this movie. It's such a weird thing that it exists.
Yeah.
And like I'm having trouble like reconciling it all in my brain actually, because like just the like behind the scenes and everything involved in it. It's like, how did this come to be? You know, this.
Yeah, how do you have Ice-T and Ice Cube in a William Zemeckis, Bob Gale
Written
scripted
movie directed by Walter Hill.
Yeah.
It's all very strange, and I got to give him credit because like you know you look at who wrote this, and obviously they had some people help them change the dialogue because there's absolutely no way that
Oh,
was-
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I can help you out with that.
Okay.
Because I read through the IMDb trivia earlier, and they just let Ice-T and Ice Cube. They're like, these guys know how they would speak, so let's let them speak how they would speak and improvise any dialogue, like any like. I don't think there were any huge dialogue changes, but just
It's
say
felt
this line
natural
how
coming
you
out of
would
their
say
mouths.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
video stuff is where it feels the most improvised and natural.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all very strange, and I like on some level, like I think I'm actually going to give it 2 jocks, but like on some level, like I think I'd be more amazed on it like on a film basis than like an R rating scale. Yeah, again, what you're saying, but like it's weird because like I feel like it makes me want to pull back on our jocks rating even more because I think it's like this weird, just anomaly thing that kind of came together, and that's I don't know.
It's
like-
hard to. It's like
Yeah.
Shaft was hard to rate. It was like, yeah, it's good, but like the things that we look for in one of these movies, it's
Right.
lacking in.
Yeah, I mean, like I won't lie. It was kind of annoying me, like I understand people like dumb people making dumb decisions, and that propels the movie. Like this movie just seemed like every time they started to come around, like, oh, okay, maybe you actually have a plan. It was like, no, now you did something even stupider. Like that kind of was grating on me at a certain point. Like even to the point that like, number one, they know their lives are in peril, and like they were just looking for Zeus in his golf cleats up there, and then it's suddenly like, oh, fuck all that, we found the gold.
Yeah, gold time.
And then like, so that's dumb, and then they compound it with like, let's put this rickety ass table, let's put a rocking chair on top of this rickety ass table and start crowbarring the fucking ceiling, and let's see how that works
Yeah.
out for you. Like I said, it's just I don't know. It's like I like it, but then also it's like, stop being so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like
I do like that the bad guys are smarter than the good guys.
Yes.
throughout this movie.
that's true too. Yeah. So I don't know. Just 2 jocks. Like I do think you need to see this, and hopefully you can appreciate the whole craziness that came together to make this movie too.
I feel you on the two jocks thing. I don't know. There's part of this is just a sort of decent, maybe slightly better than average, interesting sort of movie. And then you have some real good, wacky Bill Paxton freakouts, and you've got Ice-T and Ice Cube in there for some reason. But I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting my opinion around on this movie. Like, I think it's for the most part a two jocks, but I don't really know on our scale. It's weird. It's just there's nothing bad enough to put it in bags territory for sure, but there almost isn't enough to necessarily find jocks in it. There are a few lines here and there, but they're good movie lines. So it's weird. I'm just going to sit with two jocks because that's about as good of a positive neutral rating as I can give it without feeling like I'm, discrediting the work. So, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it's not like Ricochet where we were sitting there watching it and like, oh, this is a good movie. And then that movie gets fucking absurd. And then you're like, oh, hell yeah, this is the best dumb movie we've seen in a long
this
time.
is a great movie.
Yeah, like this movie starts pretty good and then stays pretty good. And you're like, well, that's a pretty good little movie. Yeah. So,
It's weird. Why is this considered a, besides the fact that it's got Ice-T and Ice Cube, and it's a Walter Hill movie, why is this considered a bad movie?
It's not really considered a bad movie. I mean, it didn't make any money.
It's just considered forgotten.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just it's just kind of a lost B movie, and who knows how goofy it was going to be when we got into it.
Okay. I was just
out not
wondering
so
if there was something,
No. I mean, it came out on Christmas Day after a bunch of controversy and no one went to see it. So, I mean, it didn't make any money. It certainly bombed.
I think we've also kind of taken it that if Shout Factory or Scream Factory puts it out, same company, we can do it because it just means it was forgotten enough that they were like, we'll put it out.
I mean, like even Universal, who released this movie, was like, nah, you guys can do it. I mean, that right there is like, well, if the studio doesn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, the only people that remember it are people like us who rented a bunch of movies. From the video store in the 90s.
Exactly.
That's how you end up seeing Trespass, because I don't think this ended up on cable very often.
No, not really. Yeah.
Which is weird, because it's perfectly easy to... You could strip all the F words out of this movie, and...
Yeah, the F words and the N words, and you're 99% of the way there.
Yeah. I mean, even the violence isn't too bad.
It's real simple.
You could put this on cable on a Saturday afternoon, easy.
I mean, the worst bit of violence is that guy hitting the rail on the way down.
Yeah.
That's just like, he's dead before that, but still, ow.
You can watch The Raid Redemption if you want to see that.
Okay.
Man,
more fun.
That looked really good.
Or a dude getting a syringe in the neck, too.
Syringe in the neck was good, but that's kind of obscured. But that dude hitting the fucking rail, I'm almost 100% sure it was a dummy, but it looked so good.
It was a rigid dummy.
Yeah. It was a dead dummy.
That was my nickname in high school.
Rigid dummy. You rigid dummy.
Anyway, let's take a break, shall we?
Yes.
All right.
I always love the people who write copy for these. Bill Paxton, Twister, and William Sadler, Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight. Yeah. Like, neither of those would be the first movie I would come up with when mentioning either of those actors.
Yeah, William Sadler. Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
Or William Sadler. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the bad guy in that Dark Angel show, wasn't he?
Maybe.
I think so. Jessica Alba show? No, was I the only one to watch that?
I never watched it.
I mix up like 6 of those shows.
I never watched enough Buffy to make it.
No, not Buffy. Dark Angel.
That's the joke.
That's
the joke.
I couldn't hear. I could barely hear him. All I heard was Buffy.
Oh. He was just messing with you.
I mean, they're all good. Ice-T of Law & Order Special Victims Unit. And
Yeah.
Ice Cube of Friday and Ride Along.
Okay, I can accept those.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right. I guess Ryan Long made a shitload of money. They made
Yeah.
a sequel.
So, second half. I know what you and BJ have. You got anything, Chuck?
I have one thing I can talk about, but we're probably not going to have time, so I can save it.
I mean, I can keep Wonder Woman fairly brief.
Okay. Mine is literally 2 minutes, but I can shave those 2 minutes off if we're...
I can keep Harry Potter fairly short. So.
Which is it? Goblet of Fire?
Yeah.
Let's read my one-sentence review of Goblet of Fire. Everybody left me. Come back. Nice. I'll have you know that Ice-T's social media person liked our tweet.
I saw it. I announced it in the chat.
Oh, well, I don't read the chat. I'm busy talking into a microphone.
Strap in, motherfuckers.
Oh.
Second half's coming.
Oh, dear. Dear. Oh, dear. Trespass.
Strap in, motherfuckers.
Oh, we got the collector's edition?
Yeah.
It's the only
It's got
edition.
all these special features.
Special feature.
Like,
It's got the new Fool's Gold, an interview with actor William Sadler.
Sweet.
New Born Losers, an interview with co-writer Bob Gale. New Wrongful Entry, an interview with producer Neil Canton. New Gang Violation, the stunts of Trespass. Ooh, we can see how that guy broke his back.
we could?
Yay.
Yeah. New Trigger Happy, the weapons of Trespass.
Maybe they'll explain why there were rubber bands on everything. I should totally watch that.
And then a vintage featurette,
Ooh.
behind the scenes of Trespass.
Vintage.
And a music video, deleted scenes, and a theatrical trailer. Man, jam-packed collector's edition.
Yep.
Collect it now.
Collect them all. Hi.
All right, let's do this. We got too much to talk about.
You shh.
I'm not the one
Yeah,
over
you're
there.
stealing my chair's thunder. Man,
Not the one with my mic
I
stand
step
making
away
yummy
and the
noises.
chat goes nuts. Can't even keep up.
Keep up.
All right.
Keep up.
Should I do my other movie or just save it? I mean, it can wait, I guess.
What's your other movie?
Kong.
Huh?
Kong Skull Island.
Oh.
Skyland.
I think you can save that one.
Yeah, we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it
So-
this 4th of July weekend, so.
Okay.
Wonder Woman from Mackie. Are we going to talk about Glow?
Probably not.
Okay. No problem. I can wait to talk about that.
All right, welcome back.
Hey!
Second half.
Hey.
Woo!
Ah!
Hey.
Half number 2.
Ow!
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movies.
Who's got movies?
I think BJ and I have a movie.
We do.
We most
We do.
definitely
We saw it together.
desperately must talk about now.
All right, then.
We held hands.
We did.
Oh.
We shared popcorn.
We shared popcorn.
Yeah.
The
Did
most
you find-
intimate of acts.
Did you find that on occasion you or hands met while trying to attempt to get popcorn?
Sometimes. There was also a hole in the bottom of my
Yeah,
popcorn
which one
bucket.
of you cut the hole in the
Oh.
bottom?
Hey,
Neither of
BJ,
us-
I am not talking about your pigtails. I'm talking about your sex appeal.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what'd you guys see?
We saw Baby Driver.
Oh, good.
B-A-B-Y, baby.
How's Baby Driver?
Go ahead. You inhaled first.
I did. I inhaled for my pregnant pause. Man, Edgar Wright is so fucking good at making everything look fucking cool. Also, I never would have believed somebody nicknamed Baby. Like, I want that to be my nickname.
All right, we're
like,
starting
it's-
it now.
It's well, no, I mean I can't because obvious reasons. But like,
Be Baby J.
yeah, I could be. But
Baby
it's just
J.
like,
Baby J.
oh god, that's the worst idea. But like,
Guess what?
but they make it so cool, like the dialogue and everything, and the whatever his weird name is, does such a good job of like just owning the fact that his nickname is Baby. It's just fucking cool as shit, and I love that. But I'll let you do the majority of the gushing since I think you're most positive on it.
Yeah. Okay. So, believe me, I am. I've been wrestling with this for nigh on 24 hours now. I think I've come to the conclusion that I am safe in saying that Baby Driver is my favorite Edgar Wright movie, and I know that's like I'm not a parent. I don't necessarily plan to be a parent, but I imagine it's like you have all these kids and you're like, man, they're all so wonderful, and someone comes along and says, well, which one do you like the best? And that's kind of like how I feel about it right now. Because it doesn't make me love any of the other ones less. I just think that
That's
I think
fine.
that
You can pick a favorite.
like I just it almost feels selfish. Because I feel we've said in the past about Edgar Wright movies that they feel very much like he's making movies for us, like people into the things that we're into and the jokes that we're into and the references that we're into.
It feels like if we had the budget and talent to actually make a movie,
Right.
it would probably be similar to what he's doing.
And I just feel like this is the one that hits closest home for me. Like, don't get me wrong. This is not saying now I hate Scott Pilgrim. Now I hate Shaun of the Dead. I still love them. I still love them dearly. It's just this. Yeah, I grew up playing retro video games, but I've never been in whatever crazy situation Scott O'Malley was writing about in Scott Pilgrim. You know, like this movie, and obviously I've never been a Getaway Driver, but I'm just like the music and the feel and like the musical nature of the whole thing, it just hits me so very close to home that like this was so very much my jam. And I'm not trying to put down any of the other films. I feel like this is the movie he's been working towards his entire creative life. Like the technical aspect of this movie is just unbelievably phenomenal. I could just gush about the filmmaking techniques in this movie to death, and I don't know. Like I can't without being spoilery, so I'm not going to. I just there are things that happen in this movie that are just so spot on and amazing. I don't know. This movie just actually has me like kind of dumbstruck as far as trying to talk about it. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that the dude is like, and it has an incredible head for details, and like, I just can't even imagine like his production notebooks or whatever system he does of like, okay, for this I want this, this, and this. You know, like, I feel like some filmmakers have kind of lost their way, but like people like Kubrick and Terry Gilliam to a point had this about them, where it was just like, there are no useless frames. Like every frame I wanted exactly like I have it in my vision, and I feel like this is one of those kind of movies for him. Like there's no wasted frame in this movie to him, that everything is important. Yeah, and even down to like, I mean, because this movie was shot and takes place in Atlanta, and it's such a silly little detail, but having been to the city and recognizing places, there is a point where Baby, the character is obsessed with music, walks into a record store, and I went, I've been there, and like, which record store was that? And then all of a sudden I went, that's fucking Criminal Records, isn't it? And of course it is, because it's fucking Edgar Wright, and if you're going to shoot something in Atlanta and there is a store and you're making a movie about a getaway driver, why would you not pick a place called Criminal Records and go, hey, we'd like to shoot like a 5-second scene here?
Exactly. Why would you have a... Yeah.
Yeah, why would you not? Because, I mean, the attention to detail in that man is incredible. And he confirmed it on Twitter, because I asked him, I was like, that was Criminal Records, right? And he was like, it is. So.
Oh, I didn't know that's how you answered
yeah, no,
that
I
question.
tweeted at Edgar Wright, and he answered me.
I thought you had just found it in his tweets or something somewhere.
Nope.
Cool.
I looked at it.
Well,
yeah.
Look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants, talking to big-time directors.
I just asked.
Sometimes they write back.
He was gracious enough to answer.
Put that feather in your cap.
I have a
man.
feeling the dude was probably up for like 48 straight hours. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
as a person with something this
Yeah,
important to
the
you
way
coming
he's
out.
tweeted about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. If this is super important to him, so I have a feeling he's.
Well, he said
sleep.
he's basically been sitting on the idea for it for 6 years now.
Yeah.
And because of the whole Ant-Man thing, it got pushed aside, and now he finally had a chance to actually make it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so this is the pedanticest thing I could possibly come up with, but it still struck me because, like I said, everything in this movie is so like close to me that all right, there is a point where the female character Deborah, they're having a conversation about songs based on their name, and Baby being kind of more of a classic music kind of person, like influenced by his mother's taste in music and whatnot, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. He immediately thought she was referring to the T-Rex song, and she's like, "Yeah, I like the Beck song," and so he's like, "Oh, I don't know that." So that's when he goes to Criminal Records to pick up the vinyl of it, which in my head I'm like, you can't do that because that's Midnight Vultures and it's been out of print for a really long time. And like I'm just saying, like that is the most pedantic thing I could possibly come up with, but I was like, I fucking would kill for that record, and it's almost impossible to find. Now, the man has a big stack of money, so maybe, but walk in there, probably not. Just saying. It's
a record store he knows, so it's where he goes.
Yeah.
You got to know a guy who knows
But I mean,
a guy
he walked
to get
in
a
and
copy
walked
of
out.
Midnight Vultures on vinyl.
Again, I'm just saying, I fucking love that album, and I've been wanting it on vinyl for years, so.
But he didn't walk out with it, did he?
Yeah, he did. He went home and popped back on and was listening to Deborah and dancing.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, that is the most pedantic thing, but like it was just like I was watching, I was like, you didn't just walk out of a copy of that. You didn't walk out with that. They wouldn't have that. Again,
well,
the
Movie
most
magic.
You
That
and
scene-
12 other people are like,
I know, like no,
focused
That
on
scene
it.
doesn't happen if he doesn't
I
walk out
know,
with the record.
I
so.
know. Like I said, I realize how dumb of a nitpick that is.
You need to update the goofs section of the IMDb.
yeah.
I'm not saying
Yes, this is your opportunity.
It doesn't. It's not that it doesn't
Put a goof that
exist.
actually
Strike
means
while the
something.
iron is hot.
It's just that time period was when they weren't printing vinyl, so there's not very many copies of it floating around. It was like a super
we
niche
get it.
thing for people to have.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know that Baby Driver will ever eclipse the love that I have for Scott Pilgrim because everything about that movie speaks to me in some way, shape, or form. But I will say that this is probably Edgar Wright's best work. It is nigh immaculate. I think I was thinking too much when I was watching it, so walking out of the theater, it was really hard for me to, like, it was hard for me to come up with that snap judgment because I was just overthinking it. And I don't know why I've been doing that with movies lately, but movies and video games, I've just been looking at them too closely while I've been experiencing them, and I just need to step back a little bit, and that's a personal thing. But Baby Driver is so fucking excellent. There is a sense of timing to so many parts of this movie that just feels right and gets in the groove, and it looks so good. Like, I bet this movie would taste good, you know? That's how nice it is.
well, shit. You just read what I was going to talk about next. Because now it's going to seem creepy as fuck.
Well, but yeah, man, there's so much good about this movie, and I don't want to spoil anything about it. But if you like Edgar Wright and heist movies and car chases, then this is your jam, and I would heavily recommend you see it in theaters. And just set aside $20 for when the Blu-ray comes out. Just budget it now.
Yeah, what I was going to say, and believe me, I was going to say this before BJ's taste comment. I was just going. There was a moment in this film that it struck me. It was a very similar feel as Scott Pilgrim. Like there is a way that Edgar Wright has of filming his female leads, and I can't quite put my finger on it what he does, but they're like. If I was a young actress, like a young up and coming actress, I would definitely want this man to shoot me in a movie because he makes them look ungodly beautiful, like just ethereal almost. Like, and not like that's necessarily in like a sexual way. Just like, holy shit, you look like a goddamn angel on screen right now. Like he did it with Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Scott Pilgrim, and there's a scene in this that is just, I can't describe the lighting and whatnot enough that it's like, I mean, obviously she's a pretty girl, but it's like there's just one scene where it's just like, oh my god, like you just look like an angel. It's bizarre, and I don't know, just something of note to me.
Yeah, and he makes everybody look really good.
He does.
In this
I mean,
movie.
yeah,
Even we all know that guy's in the movie. I just had to do a mental spoiler check because he's on the poster, right? Yes. Okay. We all know Kevin Spacey. Like,
yeah, he's in the commercials.
Yeah, I just had to double check because I've been doing my thing where I don't pay attention to any of the media related to a movie, but like even Kevin Spacey's wearing some sort of hairpiece, and it looks great. Like just little things like that, and I mean, it doesn't take much for John Hamm to look great, but for John Hamm to look great as the kind of guy he is in this movie is just it's really good. I kind of wonder, like, this is maybe a dumb thing, but is there supposed to be a decidedly Han Solo look to Baby?
What? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it didn't occur to me.
Okay.
At all.
Just I know he's not wearing a vest, but it's like a dark vesty looking thing with light colored arms and a light colored undershirt. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
Kind of got more of a James Dean feel, but like Rebel Without a Cause look thing going on. But that's just me.
Han Solo is a little bit better of a reference for me, and maybe Han Solo is a little bit of is the James Dean reference with just the shape of the colors on a person. I guess I don't know. Right. That's just me letting my brain wander for a few seconds, but I really liked it. I fear if I try to talk too much more about it, we'll get spoilery.
But you'd say go see it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. Full recommendation. You can get your money back from somebody else if you don't like it.
I'll try and see it then.
You should. It is. I think it is going to be extremely your jam.
Yeah, I already knew that, but So, speaking of movies in the theater, I guess I saw Wonder Woman. Finally, my wife and I finally got to go see it, and man, like 85% of that movie is really, 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 really good. Like, it's almost like, how we talk about blaxploitation and how it's cool because it's these, at the time, it was these characters, these actors that didn't get to do awesome stuff, doing awesome stuff. And that's kind of how the beginning of this movie is like almost like womansploitation, because it's like these Amazon women do some just amazingly badass shit in the beginning of that movie. And, obviously Wonder Woman gets to be awesome quite a lot throughout. And it's that same thing as Captain America, where it's got that wide-eyed optimism to it that just doesn't, like, there's cynicism there, but it's all the other characters on the side. It's like your main character does not ever give in to that. Mm-hmm. And God, that movie just, it's so good. And then it turns into like an energy punch fight from an X-Men movie from the early 2000s right at the very end. And it's like, you fucked it up. You had it. You had what you needed to do, and you fucked it up. And it's so frustrating when it's a movie that's like the whole time watching it going 5 stars, 5 stars, 5. What the fuck just happened? Like, I think we had an email from somebody a month ago maybe, that was like, has a movie ever just done this thing where it takes a left turn and you're like suddenly off board? Mm-hmm. Like, that was this movie hard. Like, I could literally feel my wife's eyes rolling in her head sitting next to me so hard from the way they basically were like, well, it's got to be a big superhero thing, right? And yeah, it just it bummed me out. But then they get back to doing what they were doing before, like for the final, 10 minutes or so, and it was hitting me right the way it needed to hit me after that. But I wish I could take that 20 minutes out of that movie. I wish I could just rip it out. And I know there's plenty of people who are like, well, that's the whole point of the movie is, fine. If you feel that way. But I just wish it had been executed way better than it was, because the way it was executed felt cheap, and cheap, like filmmaking cheap, and not like narratively cheap, though I think it's narratively cheap. Other people disagree with me, but it's just poorly made. It is just bad slow motion bullshit. Slow motion CG, energy blasting around, superhero bullshit. And that's a shame. In a movie that I really loved as much as I did throughout the rest of it. Mm-hmm. So that's a bummer, but Gal Gadot is definitely... Is it Gadot? We had this discussion last week.
It's Gadot.
It's Gadot.
Gadot. I think I'm the one that probably started saying it wrong the first time.
No,
Did we?
as an entire culture, we've been saying it wrong for the entirety of her existence. It's supposed to be Gadot.
It's just one of those names you look at and you go, well, she's exotic, therefore the name must
be French.
Yeah.
Right. And
Well, I've been waiting to say Gadot.
Yeah, well, either way, she's awesome. She's like... I was very skeptical going in, but she easily carries that movie. And there's also a point, like 2/3 of the way through, where I realized that Steve's secretary was Lucy Davis, who was Dawn from the British Office, and I was like, almost heartbroken. I'm like, I was in love with Dawn by the end of watching The Office, and then seeing her like relegated to like the little mousy secretary role was like, oh, Dawn, no, that's Dawn. It's Lucy Davis. What has happened? And then I realized that I'm really old and that The Office came out like 18 years ago. So, there's that.
Mm-hmm. You could always watch Studio 60 if you need a season of television with Lucy Davis in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Could rewatch Shaun of the Dead.
Totally could.
Yeah, I could.
And actually, a couple of Edgar Wright's music videos she pops up in too.
Oh.
Oh, good then. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like it was just, I did not recognize her at all until like, I don't know why, but all of a sudden, like 2/3 of the way through the movie, it clicked in my head, and I was like, oh, that's Dawn. No.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, did we have other stuff, or do I talk about Harry Potter now?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Talk about Harry Potter. Okay.
Yeah.
Considering
part of your ongoing series.
Yeah, Harry Potter Journey. The magical journey of Harry Potter, whatever. We watched Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which is my favorite book in the series, and the movie gets all the main plot points right, but it just kind of... It's one of those movies that loses all its flavor because there's so much to adapt, and you're just trying to get shit in and get it done, and like, okay, we got to get to this plot point, to this plot point, and you kind of lose a lot of that. But what it does do right is it has the Yule Ball in it, which a lesser movie would have not adapted the Yule Ball properly, which is basically their prom or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And like that's the and it this movie nailed why I think the other movies are missing something, in that this one has that contrast of, all right, Harry has just like been chased by a dragon on his broom, you know, trying to grab this egg from it and doing all this crazy shit. And he's fine with that. And he's like, cool, whatever. And when he realizes he has to ask a girl out, he's absolutely like petrified and cannot do it. And it's such a wonderful universal message that carries through. That's like, yes, these are, it humanizes him in a way that the other movies just absolutely had not at all. And I love that, and I love that that's what the books had done, was have these moments of, you know, we're in this crazy world, but also, you know, like, I got to be on the test, and now I'm in, you know, and now I need to do better, you know, that sort of stuff, where there's a lot of that mixed in. But Yeah, otherwise it loses so much. I mean, Cedric Diggory, they don't really portray how much he's like the class president and the football captain and the prom king all wrapped up kind of into one character that literally everybody loves, which is why, like, you know, when everyone's like thinks Harry Potter's a dick for being in the tournament and like it's just like, oh, Potter sucks, fuck you, you know, like they don't really sell that. It's because Cedric is like this golden god among all these normal people, you know. And yeah, Robert Pattinson's fine. There's like literally none of the Twilight douchiness there at all.
Yeah, no, he's just a
you know,
dude.
Yeah, and the only parts that really and my big problem with this one is just it feels TV-ish. It feels TV movie-ish, which I don't know if that's like because Mike Newell was handling it and he just didn't take over on a lot of the other stuff that's going on in that movie, but it's weird because that one has like some of the biggest events that are in the series, you know, like and I also realized the Tri-Wizard Cup would suck to be a spectator at. Because all the shit like happens like underwater.
Yeah.
So and everybody's just like standing in the stands waiting for them to save the friends that they've kidnapped and stuffed under a lake. Which I know plenty of people have brought that up, but like, what the fuck? Like, they didn't consent to be kidnapped and stuffed at the bottom of a lake because they come out and they're like, oh, thank God I didn't drown. You know, it's like, your teacher did that to you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But also, like, you know, when he fights the dragons, he just takes off and he's on the other side of the campus and nobody sees what happens. They just see him come back.
I wonder if they have like magic screens or anything like
Maybe
magic jumbotrons.
They don't show any of that.
They
don't show any of that. But yeah, and then the maze at the end, like they're just creeping around the maze, and nobody can see what's happening, which is how people that are influencing events are able to influence events that happen in there.
Now showing you the other part of the Tri-Wizard Cup, Pee-wee. Thanks, magic screen.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
yeah.
I do remember, like, the part that struck me was, like, how he's defiant towards the end to what's happening, and then, like, he finally kind of escapes, and he just fucking breaks down. Like, that was the one part of the movie that just, like, got me a little bit, because it was, like, he was being tough in the face of that, you know.
Yeah, everything that was going on.
Yeah, and then, like, he just, like, in public, plain view. Like, I don't know why. That's just the one part in the book / movie that really struck me. Just, like, I can't fucking do it anymore. Like, you know, I played your game. I tried to act tough in front of the big bad, and now it's just like, fuck! Holding a dead guy and all that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just, that was powerful shit in an otherwise mad movie.
Yeah, the only time it really perks up and doesn't feel TV-ish is when, like, basically he gets face-to-face with Voldemort. Because, like, that's what all these books have been building towards at this point. And it still feels more like it's because of the events that are happening rather than the presentation of them in that movie. But I also really like... I didn't think I did the first two times... You know, the first time I saw Prisoner of Azkaban and this one, you know, 10 years ago or whatever... I like Michael Gambone's Dumbledore better than Richard Harris's.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got more range.
That took me a while to come to grips with too. Like,
yeah, but I like, and you know, and when the movies were first cast, they're like, Richard Harris will be Dumbledore. I'm like, well, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Like, he seems like the perfect choice. And then you watch the first one, you're like, yeah, that's Dumbledore. But then you realize, like, for the first two, he's so one note.
Well,
And,
Richard Harris was super old.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like,
That was a really bad idea.
you guys should have known. I mean,
Yeah, they really should have. But
yeah.
But Michael Gambone is he plays it with such variation on the character that I really, really like him way more than I was expecting to.
You're fancifying his name too. It's just
Gambon?
It's just Gambon.
Whatever. Whatever.
Hey,
So I'm throwing it out there.
All these foreigners have to
Look,
have fancy
I've watched
names.
300 episodes of Top Gear. I know how to say the man's name. He has a corner named after him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I saw Gladiator, and they basically put Richard Harris on a horse in that, and we're just like, I hope he doesn't keel over in this scene because this is all we've got him for. I was like, Gladiator's going to be Richard Harris's last movie.
Yep.
There's just no way he gets beyond this.
Yeah.
And then they cast him in Harry. I was like, man, you guys, no chance. He wasn't going to make it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really wish that was the movie they had split into two parts. because it would have made a ton more sense. But they didn't. So they just adapted the shit out of it and whittled everything down. Like Rita Skeeter's in like 2 scenes, and she's like an antagonist throughout the book. You know, there's a lot of interpersonal stuff that had to get cut just when you're making an adaptation like that. Because I guess that's the thing, is it feels like the best possible adaptation you can get for 2.5 hours, but that book has a lot more going on that's not in there. And like I said last week, like it's The Empire Strikes Back of the book series, but the movie just never reaches anything even close to that, and doesn't sell like just how fucked everyone is at the end of that book.
Yeah.
It does not sell. The movie does not sell that point at all. So, yeah, but those are the 4 that I'd already seen. So the next 4 will be brand new, first time watching them.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I got a thing real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So I know we made a big deal a long time. Harlow and I went to go see Anchorman 2, and we paid like $40 for it. And I think that fed our euphoria for Anchorman 2, and we had a good time. And then subsequent viewings of Anchorman 2 have been like, yeah, you know what? This movie's not that good. It's okay and has some good jokes in it, but it's just not on the level of what you want an Anchorman movie to be. So some time had passed, and I'd been... The more I thought about it, was just the more I was down on it. It was just like, man, this goes on too long. This sucks, blah, blah, blah. For some reason, I don't know what made me think to do it. I was like, you know what? I've never seen the R-rated version that's on the Blu-ray. Not the unrated thing, which is kind of junked up garbage, but the version that they threw back out in theaters, the 763 new joke R-rated version of Anchorman 2.
Okay.
And I put that on and thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, it's all the same plot points. Like, it actually trims out some of the stuff that goes on far too long in the original cut of that movie, but they throw some jokes in there and expand on some bits that obviously had to be cut for PG-13. Like, them smoking crack in the newsroom in the R-rated version is fucking amazing, because they didn't have to trim around it to get a PG-13 rating. I mean, they are fucking going for it, demonstrating how to smoke crack, and everyone in the studio is freaking out about this and waving at them, and just, I mean, there's, I don't know what it is, and it's hard for me to say that you should watch, if you've never seen Anchorman 2, you should just skip right to the R-rated version, because
I have not.
Well, for me in my head, I'm like, okay, good, they cut that joke, and okay, they cut out this bit of dialogue, even though it explains scenes later. It's like, all 3 versions are a fucking mess. It's tonally, that movie's all over the place, but the R-rated version throws in some musical numbers and takes some things out. I mean, it's
Bye.
yeah, it's very strange. It's a very strange thing, but it's almost the same movie, but a lot better. I don't know how else to explain it, but I would be interested someone who watched the R-rated version first and then watched the original theatrical version just to see what their take is. Because while the setups for every scene are the same, the punchlines are totally different. It's kind of like alternate take bonanza of just like, here's a...
Well, I mean, I remember that's how the Anchorman trailers were.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much stuff in the trailer that's not in the movie. Most of it is in this R-rated version for some reason. I don't know if they were maybe going for an R-rated version to begin with, and the studio said no. But I don't know, man. Some of the jokes are just so much better. So much better. So.
Cool.
Yeah. And it cuts out most of him being blind and the shark stuff. It's just like, the fuck is happening here? Movie takes this weird third act detour where you're just like, what is happening? Get back to being Anchorman. So. Yeah. It's a unique experience.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You guys want a couple quick emails?
Sure. Love to.
Yeah, we kind of skipped it last week, so. Did we? Or no, we went way long last week. That's what it was. We had one, and then we had to skip the others. Anyway, this one's from David. He says, college kickboxers.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
Says,
watched
"Hey,
that.
Yeah. It says, hey, BMFcast. I'm not sure if I'll be able to watch the live stream, so I thought I'd say what I would have said on the chat. I really, really enjoyed the movie. The lead looked like a cross between Bill S. Preston Esquire and Guile from Street Fighter. The martial arts was really good, and it was shot the way I like it to be shot. Far enough away so I can tell what's going on. I'd give it 4 jocks. Some of us agreed with you. Not a 5 because it feels like there are just too many subplots and it's not focused enough. Is it about a guy learning about the true meaning of martial arts? A Save the Dojo story? A revenge film with racist martial artists? A love story? And what does saving the Earth have to do with anything? Anyways, love the movie, love the podcast, David.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, David. Yeah. And the other one ties in with our current discussion in this half.
Yeah.
This is Steve like the Bird Heron.
Oh.
He says, when I was young, I carried a gun, but I never got a chance to serve. He says, Steve like the Bird had an accident when he was a kid. He's still got a squawk in and such. Listen to the BMFcast to drown it out. That's why he's the fastest emailer in the business. That was all in quotes, by the way.
Okay.
He says, so last year I wrote you guys about Edgar Wright, and I mentioned I was excited for a little movie he was making called Baby Driver. And you better be as
I've
sure
heard of
as
it.
shit that I'm going to talk about it right now. I'm not sure if you guys are going into spoilers or not in your discussion of it, so I'm just going to avoid pulling a you-know-who to the best of my ability. We know. Steve. We know. So this morning I woke up, did my usual routine, and then walked 3 miles to my town's theater to make sure I got the 11:10 showing, the very first possible one I could get to. It was the first time I ever went to the movies alone, and for a while it was looking like I would be the only one there at all, but eventually someone showed up about 5 or so minutes in, which unfortunately for them meant that they missed the first incredible car chase. Side note, like, I've only had like the empty theater experience like twice, and man, it's been awesome both times.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is
It is the
fucking great.
fucking best.
Yep.
You do feel kind of like some sort of really powerful person, just like,
Yeah.
I rented this
I
theater.
rented all these seats.
Yeah, it's really good. But anyway, he says, I think all of the performances are strong by the supporting cast. As for our lead, I'm not... Oh, wait. Okay, sorry. I got sidetracked and I skipped a paragraph of Steve's.
Oh, shit.
So let me go back.
Got excited.
He's like, rewind it. Put it in reverse. The point is, I was ready for this movie, and I was not disappointed. This movie has all the right staples we've come to expect. Incredibly well choreographed and photographed action set pieces, clever dialogue, and a bitchin' soundtrack, which, as soon as the movie was over, I walked over to the Urban Outfitters in my town and picked up a copy. It was the easiest purchase I've made in a long time. I think all the performances are strong by the supporting cast. As for our lead, I'm not sure how much of an actor Ansel Elgort is. Is that famous-ized?
I don't know.
Ansel Elgort.
Fancified. I don't know. Ansel Elgort.
He says, I'm not sure how much of an actor Ansel Elgort is, but my God, he's one hell of a movie star. Where he might stumble in delivering lines, he thrives in body language. He's able to express so much in a look or a move. He has charisma and screen presence for days. I don't think this is Wright's strongest effort, but even his misses are better than most directors' home runs. There are just little things about the film that make it fall just short of the heights of something like Shaun or Hot Fuzz. For example, a minor spoiler. I'm not even going to leave it. I'm not even going to read the minor spoiler because I don't want to know it. It's also... Sorry.
Can I take this moment to pause and interject that Steve and I have been talking? It all goes down in the DMs, just so you know. But Steve and I have been talking about Baby Driver today, and we have cleared up that minor issue.
Okay, so I didn't even need to
strike
read
that paragraph.
Done. But he says, it's also easily his most brutal film. The action rarely pulls punches, and even the nihilism of World's End never seemed as gut-wrenching as some of the things in this movie. Baby Driver also seems to lack the same amount of heart I've appreciated in previous Wright films. Don't get me wrong, it's certainly there, mostly in our hero's relationship with his father figure and the love interest, but it never seems to balance out the insane, life-altering shit happening around it. Overall, Baby Driver is still one of the most fun and original things you're likely to see this summer, so everyone go out and see the damn thing because Wright's films never seem to do great here in the States, and I would really love for that pattern to change. Crash and Burn, Steve Like the Bird Out, sent via my pink bedazzled iPod mini. So thanks, Steve.
Steve's rating has been revised to 5 stars, so just in case you're wondering.
You talked him into it?
No, I didn't talk him into it. We were just discussing the movie, and I cleared up that one issue, and 5 stars.
I don't even know what the issue was. I just looked for the end of the parentheses that he
Yep,
put.
you did good. You did good.
Yeah. I don't want to continue gushing, but seriously, this movie's been haunting me for 24 hours. Like, I can't stop thinking about this movie, and that we're surrounded by negativity in the world, and like when a movie hits me this hard, I want to scream from the mountaintops how good it is. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see it.
I loved it. It was better than Cats. I want to see it again and again.
Precisely. I almost want to see it with a notepad. That's the weird kind of thing that I want to do with this movie because of the way it does things.
Okay.
So, voicemails.
Yeah.
How would they go about doing that, BJ?
Well, fantastic.
If people want to do things like send us emails or voicemails,
Yeah.
how would they go about doing that, BJ?
Well, fantastic segue, might I add. They can email us at bmf@bmfcast.com. They can find our website at bmfcast.com, which has a bunch of buttons on the right-hand side, which will take you to all of our social places. Or you can give us a call on the Garfield phone, the BMFcast hotline, which is 910-5-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. Leave a message for Garfield. He hasn't heard from you guys in a while, and we want him to stay gainfully employed.
Yeah.
There's also, speaking of gainfully employed, there's also our Patreon, which is at patreon.com/BMFcast, and that keeps us able to do this thing without breaking our own personal banks week in and week out. And you guys are handsomely rewarded for your contributions with the addition of 17 million new podcasts per second posted to the BMFcast Patreon. That's not entirely true. It's more like
Number maybe slightly lower.
7 a second, but you get a bunch of podcasts. There's like 60 years worth of archival footage, tape footage in there.
Tapes.
Yeah.
Different
No,
things
there's
like
just
tapes.
there's a ton of content that's out there on the Patreon, and we really appreciate you guys contributing to it. So we try to reward you with good ass content, both here on the regular ass podcast and there on the paid for ass podcasts.
All about that ass content.
Yes, ass tent.
Cool.
Yeah.
So quick pause. Sorry for making you have to edit things. We did get a voicemail email. And we don't really necessarily need to respond to it. Do we want to put it at the end of the show? Like set it up and then leave?
What is it?
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Okay.
It was like they called into the Garfield phone, fucked up, and then just sent like
right,
MP4 or whatever.
No.
Cool. Well, we're gonna get out of here, but stay tuned because we actually do have sort of a voicemail. It's not directly to the Garfield phone. It's actually sent in via email, but we allow for that as
The
well.
electronic Garfield
Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna leave you with that. So in the meantime, I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
phone. I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out. Bye, motherfucker.
Bye.
Let's listen to this.
Play it.
Play it
Oh,
for me.
shit. Okay, I have to. I didn't have it pulled up or anything.
Oh, jeez.
Just wait. Stick around,
Oh,
everybody.
jeez.
I've heard it.
Get to listen to some magic here, maybe.
Jeez. Hold on.
Wait. I didn't know the soundtrack was available on vinyl.
Oh fuck, that's right. It didn't come in there. I'm an idiot.
Ah, fuck.
Ah, fuck.
Ah, fuck.
Well, I went to the Google Voice.
Ah,
The
fuck.
email where it is. Where is it saying? Here it is. Here we go. Make it play.
BMFcast in my office. I've been looking at your file, and I don't care that you were all a part of a crack kill squad called the Serpent's Blade in the CIA. I don't care how many medals and commendations you have, how many regimes you toppled, or pinball tournaments you won. You're in the Anytown PD now. We have rules. You guys can't be loose cannons anymore. Look at this bill. $200 million in building damage, $120 million in vehicle damage, 20 suspects killed, 5 civilians injured, and 2 clowns MIA. I got the commissioner breathing down my ass about you guys. He wants to replace you all with Theodore Rex. And I'll be damned if this department's best cops get replaced by a son of a bitch dinosaur. So go out there, find Janelli, get that motherfucker, and close this case. Now get the fuck out of my office. And guys, be careful.
Yeah, we get results. Hey, good night, everybody.
Hey, good night, everybody.
Have a good 4th of July.
Celebrate America's birthday in style by blowing shit up in Chuck's neighborhood.
It might also be our last.
Could be. Good night, everyone. We love you.
Except you. You know who.
Damn. Damn.
I don't know.
That's some cold shit.
Nobody at all. Except you. You know who you are. Fuck you. As my old friend Bradley used to say, fuck you.
Woohoo indeed.
I have to go to the bar on the way home because I don't have to work tomorrow.
Why?
Because tomorrow's my birthday. And I took the day off. It's a holiday in my
PJ's
world.
getting older. PJ's getting older.
Everything hurts now. Everything hurts now.
Wait a couple more years, yeah. Wait a couple more years.